Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to
no.
episode 351.
Oh,
My intro
God.
made him cry.
That's
My intro made him
brilliant.
cry.
The Fans
my
of Power
God.
podcast. I'm Nathan Kennedy, joined here by Tyler T-Rex Baker, Rebecca McDonald, aka Newt, Ren McKenzie. I think he's just a member of the show now. And
Yeah, he's
Me,
an
Kevin
official Heroic
Smith.
Warrior.
It's me. It's really me. I'm Kevin Smith, everybody.
I'm gonna cry.
We're
Y'all ain't
joined here
crying. We haven't even started yet.
by Kevin Smith, aka
Did
Dusan
it just get closer?
Mitrovic.
That's scary.
I was wondering
Jesus.
what all he had planned, because the last time Dusan was on the show, we had an extra Joe Amato, and I thought that's what he was going to do this time around, but not the case.
We're joined by a true fan of Master of the Universe, a guy who's
Such a
been
big
with us
fan.
since the
He
very
saw it
beginning.
here before
Oh,
everybody
boy.
else, before it was even released.
God, what a pussy.
Oh, man.
I mean, he's such a girl doing that. I mean, look at that.
Hey, these are
You're
man
mad.
tears.
You made him
I
mad.
guess so.
Mantis of a true fan.
I'd be curious, like, what's Ren's take on Kevin Smith's bullshit? You know, I mean, he's pulled back, obviously, but I'm just curious. There he is. Hey, Kevin.
I've never been a fan of Kevin Smith's stuff. Truthfully,
Oh,
I
hey,
did like the I did like the Master Universe. I enjoyed it. I'll say I enjoyed it.
Oh my God, what is he doing here, people?
All right, well, that was Ren. We won't have to worry about Ren being
Ren, I
here
expect a full
anymore.
refund.
It was nice having him here while it lasted.
Damn, is that kind of show?
We've always said on the show, despite our strong opinions, varying opinions on it, including Kevin Smith here, that if you did enjoy any of that stuff, like okay, that's fine. Oh my God, are you really gonna do this the whole time, Dusan? Maybe. I don't know what he said. I'm
surprised
he
it
said
spliced
maybe.
together some Kevin Smith quotes or something like. And do like the
I'm sure it's coming.
Or
I'm
that
sure
duck
it's coming.
face thing he does that Kevin Smith does all the time. You know, whatever the hell that face is he makes.
Mm.
Yeah, if I didn't love Ren so much, I would be like harassing him all the time about his love for King Grayskull, which I'm like, oh my God. The day we have someone on this podcast who idolizes that character, I'm like, oh, what? But here we are.
I can't say I idolize him. I think it's a good idea.
No, it's not. Dude,
Why not?
spin here.
All right,
I
hang on.
just-
Here, you
yeah.
know what? Here's what we'll do. I'll do this. We'll take Newt. We'll take Kevin Smith, and I'll take myself out. You guys go ahead and have a good duel here about King Grayskull. And
King Grayskull's a good idea. It's just the truth of the matter.
So you like the idea of having multiples of a single character? Like you think it doesn't dilute the character, that it started with someone way back when, and then there's been multiple versions of him over, like it's Superman's, multiple Batmans, multiple Spider-Mans, multiple this and that. To me, it just dilutes the what makes that character so special.
Yeah. Well, the difference between that and the example that you're giving, multiple Spider-Man, multiple Batman, whatever, you're talking about maybe different universes. This for me was a good explanation of how the power of Grayskull started and how it's able to transfer once Prince Adam is dead, right? Once Prince Adam's dead, say that there needs to be a new hero. How do you transfer that power to a new kid? How do you explain it?
Well, I don't think there's a reason to have that, because when we got Hero, where the line was going back in the 80s, that it was a wizard that's responsible for the power of Grayskull, and that the castle was built in his image to hold that power until the day would come that a pair of twins would be worthy enough to take that power and defend the universe. I think to have people over the time take on that responsibility, they die, move on to the next one. I think that takes away. Plus, it's more special that it wasn't a warrior; that it was a wizard that created that intense power that is the most powerful force in the universe.
What if the wizard gave the power to that one warrior? The sword itself is separate from the person, right? The sword is the catalyst for the power itself. wielder of the power be this person, and then, like I said, once they have defended as long as they could defend, they pass away, and a new evil pops up, then they need a new hero. They need a new hero.
But
And
see, I look at
I can see in your face that you want to argue. However, somewhere deep down inside, Tyler, you're thinking Ren is right as hell. But you know what we should do? We should watch this episode since I'm right. We should go ahead and move on.
I really want to be open, honest with you, and tell you what utter bullshit and horse shit and dog shit is coming out of your mouth. It's flowing like a water fountain of all kinds of varieties of shit.
Yeah, it's fine.
But I will say it is the purest form of shit I've ever heard in my life.
It's the sweetest form of truth that you've ever heard, and that's all I can hear you say. And I appreciate the fact that you're giving up the fight I'm
sorry.
And giving me the win.
I didn't hear any damn bell.
And you're understanding my point of view, and you're a bigger man for that.
Well, I'm a bigger man anyway. I'm a bigger man already, but I'm just saying.
You will grow tonight
because you don't get the whole point of He-Man getting the power sword is once the ultimate evil, which is Skeletor, shows up. There is no purpose. Like it stays dormant until the ultimate evil shows up. Yeah, whatever, Zentron, get the hell out of here. Go listen to some 4-H club, He-Man podcast where everything's light and fluffy and bullshit. No. It's not allowed here. No, because it intensifies the significance of Skeletor's presence on Eternia, the eventual upcoming of Hordak, because once King Hiss has been vanquished by Hero, that's the ultimate evil until Skeletor shows up. But Kevin, side with me. Do you understand? So he's speechless. Kevin Smith is speechless.
Side with you.
All right. What's that, Kevin?
I am not opposed to idea of multiple He-Men.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
No, first off, you can have it all started by Hero and the sorceresses. They create Castle Grayskull to protect the power source of the whole thing.
Right.
They created the power sword, the sword of protection. Mm-hmm. And I like the idea from the UK comics of the third sword, the sword of evil, that gets created on the side and then gets split into two. But you could have a sorcerer or sorceress protecting the castle, generationally, and then whenever
I'm cool with that. I think it's that I'm fine with, because that makes more sense to me. That a guardian is going to age and die, and you will need a successor. That to me makes a lot of sense, to have multiple sorceresses over the years, but to have multiple He-Man, multiple protectors of the planet. I don't buy that.
Here's the thing: you could have He-Man or She-Ra or Hero only when there's a great need for it, not always, but just when there's an invasion or Skeletor level of evil threatening the world.
Absolutely, that's 100% agree with.
But that's why I feel until between that gap between when Hero destroys or banishes King Hiss, you will have other evil on the planet, and you're going to need warriors to defend Eternia, of course. But to the magnitude of a He-Man and She-Ra, no. I don't think anybody is going to show up on the planet that is an invader of sorts, where Skeletor comes from another dimension, the Horde comes from another dimension, King Hiss has been banished. You're going to have your Shakotis, your Negators, your Azrogs, your various other one-shot Kothos, your one-shot villains here and there showing up that do their damage, but it's not enough to take over the whole planet or be a threat of that size to where you would need.
You also have to consider the amount of time that has passed between the creation of Castle Grayskull and the present time. So, you don't need to have often the big threats happening. Just enough to have several He-Men over time to create this image of this immortal man or a woman, in case She-Ra is chosen, just so that there can be a legend about this wondrous warrior protecting the world.
Nah.
I love you. You are my new
Here,
best
here.
friend.
I thought this was gonna work out so good. Ren's going down because Deuce will be tag teaming
Yeah,
with me. Let me
you
get the
know
hot
what?
tag.
I legitimately thought, I'm like, all right, I'll let Red and Tyler kind of hit. I thought it was going to be sort of just like funny, but you guys actually sort of had an in-depth conversation right just now. I
But
thought that was kind of
that's
cool.
how good
It's
we are. Like,
respect.
none of this was planned. Like the three
That-
of us,
yeah.
yeah.
none of this was planned. We just did it. And that Nathan's producing right there. Just threw it right in our laps, and we just because
Yeah. Just like-
everyone's here. I love everyone to death. Ren, I love him to death. I love Deucin to death. We disagreed about stuff, but I'm like
And hey,
there's
look
nothing
at
I wouldn't do for
look at
these
that.
guys.
Something just transpired on the internet where we could disagree with each other, and it didn't.
And it's
turn into-
okay.
and it's fine. How about that?
Yeah, I'm
how-
actually giving Ren
Hey,
money
it's
too.
all
Like,
okay.
it's
I'm
okay.
right and you're wrong.
Yeah, we don't need any of that.
Yeah.
There was this comment here from Simple Tricks I'll toss out. Not a dynasty, but an interrupted yet routine lineage. To kind of toss into the
I love John. I like to think that your Simple Tricks and Nonsense, you emphasize the simple with your avatars there. You know, which I wish he would like add in like a new simple with Rebecca, like in their promotional shots or something like that.
Good.
That'd be awesome. But I mean, I expected there to be like in all those prototype illustrations that's in the Power and Honor Foundation, like the various characters that were done. Like I could see some of those being heroes over the years that were called, they were seen as like great warriors of their time, but still not that level that He-Man and She-Ra would be known for. That there would be legends of this archer or this famous barbarian or this from outer space warrior that landed on our planet and helped out for a time, but no one was like worthy enough of taking on the mantle of Grayskull until Adam and Adora are born.
Yeah, I mean that's. I absolutely agree with you on. At this point in time, we needed Adam and Adora to fulfill the mythos of the Skeletor level threat.
Yes.
In 300 years after they're gone, does the power sword just not be wielded again? If another threat comes and there's a planet level threat, who takes the mantle up of the power sword? Who goes to the castle, and who does the sorceress choose that takes on that power? It's not the individual, because the individual, just like Adora and Adam, they become lost in the power. That person becomes the new He-Man, the new She-Ra, right? That they may take a new name or whatever if they want. But that doesn't make sense. They would be the new He-Man and new She-Ra, And so that's the only thing that makes sense to me, which is truthfully the only reason why it kind of made sense to have a beginning, most ultimate powered He-Man character in King Grayskull. He was the very first, and he was able to hold the most amount of power. So I really when it both iterations of them, I was like, that makes sense to me. Like, it didn't start with Adam. They didn't make the sword just to combat Skeletor. It was already there, and they just needed a hero to take it, just like King Arthur. So.
But I felt like with King Arthur, though, it was waiting for King Arthur. Like, it was meant, like, once that sword was placed, I mean, nobody else was going to take that sword for a time, defend it, and then put it back in the stone until another one that was worthy. That's why I feel like this is kind of like that.
It's exactly like that.
It's kind of like that, but no one.
Saying exactly what I'm saying.
But I'm saying, like, with He-Man, though, those swords were forged at the time of, like, Hero's death, and it's like, okay, when it's time, these swords will be taken up. But until then, we are going to need protectors of eternity. So someone like
Yeah, they have the Masters of the Universe. Yeah,
but they're not wielding the power swords. There's not another She-Ra at that time. There's not another He-Man. There are people who are meeting the need at that time, but they're not
And
deemed worthy of the sources at that time. Is handing the power sword and the sword of protection over to these two individuals at the end of Preternia. You know, when Hero dies, the dinosaurs die off. You're in maybe an ice age of Eternia or something like that.
and that's why we only have 6 or 7 or however many they had, in Preternia. Dude, like you're literally saying exactly what I'm saying.
No, I'm not.
So I appreciate you.
No, I'm saying there are heroic warriors, but there's
I'm
no.
gonna sip this water in triumph.
Well, you're gonna need.
Well,
you
Kevin's
stay
down there
hydrated.
counting right now, so
He's counting how many good points I'm making.
Yeah.
Deucin, is that a maybe for him or total bullshit?
Hey, he's right.
Hey, I asked him, not you.
Oh, sorry. He's right.
Again, like, you don't have to have He-Man and She-Ra all the time. Just when there's a need, like.
But that's what I'm saying. Like you had to,
When Ad grows old and dies, and same goes for Adora. When she grows old and dies, you're just letting the power of Grayskull go to waste. There has to be someone else who will take up the mantle when the time comes, in case of some great need, be it a horde level threat or Skeletor level threat, whatever. Just it can be 300 years from the present time or 600 years. There will always be someone who will go under the name He-Man or She-Ra or Hero and protect the world.
Well, I mean, and I know which I know a lot of people have dismissed the idea. I always thought was a cool idea. It definitely needed some work and some finesse. Was the son of He-Man, which would be the son of He-Man of Adam and Teela, Dare, would take up
Which
the
I
mantle.
love that name.
I always thought that was such a cool idea, but the idea of like making that he's an adopted Jungle Boy, and because some people like what we're talking about here, because Adam and Adora, I mean, it's set up essentially. Correct me if I'm wrong, they are descendants of Hero, correct? In the mythology that's being set, they are the direct descendants of Hero, Gray.
I mean, nobody has to be connected through a
bloodline.
And
it really doesn't have to. Yes, I agree. They wouldn't have to be. It's just they would be the two deemed of those swords that when it's time. So that's why I kind of feel like, would Adora have a child that would be, deemed and worthy as well.
Think about that. What if Adora didn't have a child though? It's like I said.
Or what if the child what if the child became corrupted?
Someone has to take the mantle of good, despite whatever.
Which I'm fine with it, because I guess someone could say, like, why does everything have to? And that's why one of my biggest problems too is everything's got to be so interconnected. And, like, I don't like everything being so connected. But that's an interesting point. There is that if like Ren's cool with the idea of the son of He-Man, the son of Adam and Teela taking up the mantle and becoming Hero, like Skeletor's been vanquished and then he comes back. Or maybe a brand new evil shows up on the same level as Skeletor, and you need Dara. But obviously, if Dora doesn't have a child, or she does and becomes corrupted and unredeemable, then you need someone to take up that mantle. And I feel like, okay, then you would have to step outside the box. It would not be part of initial, the Adam and Adora bloodline. Somebody else on the planet, someone least likely that you would expect, someone who
is immune to the technovirus. All right. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And we get Scott Nolick in to write her bio and say her name is Cindy from the House of Asshole, and just.
I mean, honestly, despite the disagreements between the two of you on it, a very valid and good points on either side. Like, you both, I think, not to make this sound wimpy, but in a way, you're both right in your own. Like,
it made Kevin cry, like your conversation.
I mean, look, he's like the season 2 Revelations is going to be so unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, look, would these eyes lie to you?
These first 20 minutes really hit him in the soul.
Yeah.
He hasn't cried like this since Avatar 2 came out, I guess.
Was that the recent thing he cried about?
I honestly don't know.
The last movie that came out.
That was just me being crazy. But yeah, before we move forward, which, hey, I'm surprised that we opened the show with that in depth of a conversation because we haven't done that. We haven't done that in a while.
It was and very like a fun and respectable argument.
Yeah, you know, you could have easily just been like, hey, you know what, you're wrong. Fuck you. You know, because that's what you do.
Which would be fun too. But we could do that at PowerCon. We'll do.
You gotta think.
Yeah, man, fuck you.
It's not Tyler and Joe Amato. You know what I mean? So it's two guys that are super passionate.
Yeah.
Not to say Joe is not passionate about this stuff. You know,
he's passionate about certain things, but he would have been like, you know, when are we eating?
Yeah.
I always attributed that Joe always reminds me of the little kid in Dick Tracy. When do we eat?
Yeah, he is the kid. Yeah.
When do we eat? No, Joe is passionate, and for
nerds.
And for those of you that are probably going to ask,
I love Dick Tracy so much. I love that fucking movie. It's so good.
Mm.
I don't care what people say about it.
I don't want to.
It's good though. I like it. I just haven't watched it in a while. I mean like 5 years.
Okay.
I don't want to make this a confirmation. I don't want to get anyone's hopes up, but I think Joe will be back next week. Once again, that's
right.
Probably a maybe. I am not for sure. I'm sure he'll reach out and we'll talk and we'll see if he's coming back. He's still got personal business taken care of. But before we move forward, I will say hello to all the lovely people that are joining us live. We have Zentron, Febmon, Brian Brummagem, MW3, My Buddies Customs, Jeff Prime, Will Timpson. See, and he's now Doosan's doing to me what I do to Joe. Daniel Carr-Hoonan, Adam Gabbard, Tough Nerd Toys, Thompson Hereford Farm. I'm just gonna put that there so I can't look at you. Mo2 Matthew Paulrick is here. Wow.
Shush.
Shut up, Sonny. Shut your fucking face. Papa Hud 69. Don't know if I already said that. Johnny Cock. Simple Tricks and Nonsense. Melvor's here. Thanks for joining us. Melvor actually started something that I'll kind of bring us back around the conversation because he had mentioned it, someone else had mentioned it, and then you guys just kind of talked on it without me even tossing it out there. So that's cool.
That I was right? Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
No, it wasn't that. All right, if there's anyone else that was there that I missed, I apologize. But here's one thing, because Febmon, ever the observant one, is Rebecca okay? Was that an ice pack she just put on her chair?
No, I just hurt my back, so it's just like a really nasty knot in the side of my back. So it's just a heating pad and then like a little pillow thing to help it like push it into, like shove it into that muscle that's hurting.
Know those feels.
I'm
sure,
okay.
Sure, Tyler knows them all too well, and
God,
Ren too with his arm troubles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the Melvor said this: He-Man is like an Arthur figure for me. So kind of
Very
bring it
much so.
back into that.
It's like poetry, so it rhymes.
Yeah, so it rhymes.
Yeah.
Similar, very, very much his own thing, but similar.
We got this from DL. Can't wait for the show to start. I don't know what you're doing.
Well, me neither.
Hey, pal, we're live. We're live, pal.
I'm actually in the mood to watch Sword in the Stone. Like the Disney version. I love that movie, the Disney one.
No, that's my favorite era of Disney. It's everybody's least favorite, but Robin Hood, that Black Cauldron, my favorite Disney movies.
That was my introduction to Robin Hood, was that one.
Some of the smoothest animation Disney ever did was in that era.
Oh,
the Xerox animation makes it all look more lively.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Why do people not like that era, Rebecca?
It's not as popular as like.
It's definitely not celebrated.
Mermaid or.
Well, I guess it makes sense because it's sort of
because they weren't blockbuster hits. That's why.
So it's like people were too used to like the fairy tale, like the Snow Whites and.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel like when Little Mermaid came along, they were just churning out like legendary hits one right after another. Like once Little Mermaid came out.
Mm.
Yeah, that was like what people consider their comeback, even though they had those other movies out before then. But I think
even though Ursula was a real scary bitch in that movie, though.
Ursula was an amazing character.
Yeah.
Apparently, I cried as a baby when we saw that in the theater. I don't remember.
I got scared. I asked my dad to check under my bed if Ursula was there. I'll never forget that. She scared the shit out of me in the theaters when she grows really big and out of the ocean.
That's when they said I started freaking out.
What a wiener!
I know. Plus, I asked my dad to take me to go see a little girls movie. Like, what am I doing here? You know, this is a movie for girls. But the villains of all those movies are phenomenal, though. Like that one thing Disney did back then. They were some badass villains, man.
But like the Horned King from the Black Cauldron is my favorite Disney.
Wonderful
and
character.
Maleficent. original Maleficent, not
Yes, yeah, not
Them
not
turning her
Angelina
good
Jolie's bullshit.
yeah.
Do you
What a shitty movie
suppose
that
any?
was.
Do you suppose any of them were actually misunderstood?
No, they're just evil bitches. An ass.
No,
Maybe they were just in
They're just
love.
evil. Oh
No.
God.
I
Yeah.
say
She was just
I say
betrayed by
many
the
times,
king. He cut her wings
it's
off.
the Walking Dead theory, like the Rick team versus the Negan team. We only rooted for Rick's team because we followed Rick from the beginning. If we had followed Negan's team from the beginning, we would have rooted for him, and we'd have been like, bash those fuckers' heads in. The villains are always right.
They always think they're right.
But that's what makes a good villain is that they think they're doing no
They
wrong.
think they're doing the right thing. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
Or that they don't care about doing the right thing.
Yeah,
that they
they're
just
just
want to do
evil to the
whatever they
bone.
They
want.
have a goal and they want it by any means necessary.
I mean, Little Mermaid
Yep.
was a selfish little asshole herself.
you could say it,
Well-
Ren. You can say cunt. She was a
She's a
cunt.
selfish
Yeah.
bitch,
Ariel was a cunt.
a dirty bitch. But yeah, she's selfish as hell. Like she willingly gave her voice. That does not make a villain of Ursula.
Yeah, Ursula had her own motives
Yeah.
going on, but
Yeah.
like
Even
Like,
though Ursula
He was
was a
helping her.
manipulator, like she sees someone who's has a
Yeah.
weakness and exploits it, so that makes her a villain.
That's
mhm.
any salesman at
Welcome
at
to
a,
fans of
But she
old
was-
school
she
Disney
was
here
spying on her. Because she was spying on her and like watching
with
her.
those
like,
eels
I'm gonna,
and shit.
Yeah,
Well, she-
yeah.
You're in the water. Like, what else is she gonna do?
Well, she shits ink all the time, I guess. You know.
Yeah, she ain't got shit else to do.
Make
Like, what's this
lipstick
girl
out of
doing
that
out
shit.
here?
I don't know.
You know?
Now, what about though when she tries to take Eric for herself? Like she takes Ariel's voice and decides, oh well, I took your voice, now I'm going
But
to take
she's
your
just
man.
being a
I mean, that's a
bitch.
bitch. That is a
Yeah.
bitch thing to do.
Hey,
I'm gonna
I
steal your
got no
boyfriend.
problem with that. That's some high school shit. But you know, it is what it is. She was like,
Man,
this
how
is what humans do.
controversial really is Randy? Like, this is amazing stuff here.
This is
Welcome
what
to
humans
this
do.
deep
I'm-
dive on Little Mermaid that no
I'm
one
taking
I
this
never.
Yeah. God.
Here's something from my buddy's custom. Since we're just on this trail of all these older movies, who remembers the movie Rockadoodle? Love that.
Oh, I
film.
remember-
It doesn't
I
get
remember-
talked about
I remember-
hardly enough.
I
was pretty
remember
good.
when
I
it
don't
came
remember
out,
that
rented
movie.
it, and lost interest in it because of all the singing in it. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Rockadoodle?
It was a musical movie.
I
Yeah,
just can't
Yeah.
remember that.
it started
I'm
a
terrible
huge
with
cock.
titles.
Yeah.
it
And
was
he
a huge
sang like
cock that was
Elvis.
pretending to be Elvis. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was it.
Chasing
Oh,
after
man.
chickens.
Ah,
You remember like the
massive
promo
cock.
commercials, like kids and moms were wearing like
I
Rockadoodle hairdos
saw
and
this
shit. It
trailer.
was-
I've never seen this movie.
yeah.
Don't hurt yourself trying to
I
see
know,
it.
I know it. I've seen it at the video store.
Well,
and stuff,
hey,
and I
now
was little,
you
but
gotta
never
watch
watched
it. You got to watch
Yeah.
it next week. And now
We're
for
We're doing
something
we're
like
doing we're going to be doing a
Rockadoodle.
watch along next week of Rockadoodle.
Hey,
Can we do
don't
something
worry
good
about me
instead?
popping on.
Can we do like
I'm gonna be busy on Rockadoodle night.
Last
God.
Unicorn?
I can't. I'm surprised anybody remembers that film.
I
Like
remember it. Yeah, because that was around the time period. It was like Rockadoodle,
Five
Even though
Goes West, I think.
Five
Was-
Goes West.
I love
Brave,
that movie. I
Brave
love
Yeah.
Little Toaster, All Dogs Go to Heaven, like that era of
yeah, Oliver and
Secret Bad.
Company.
Oliver and
Bible
Company.
was the
The
best
Secret
movie
of
in that
Men
era.
was one of my
That
favorites.
American Tail. That
American Tail.
Well, what
was
a
the best one.
heartbreaking movie that was.
That's why it was the best.
God.
Yeah.
That made everybody cry, man.
Secret
I
of
remember-
Men was my favorite of that era. From
That
those
and,
like
and a beautiful
Oh, no.
film too.
I
the
think that was a little earlier, wasn't it?
It was early '80s.
Yeah.
Secret of
Yeah.
Nim.
Was it
Yeah, I
really?
think
that,
five.
that
I
was
think.
the first. That was the first hit by Don Bluth.
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I remember watching the ending of American Tail just for fun on YouTube, just like looking up clips like I do randomly.
You're crying like a bitch.
I started fucking crying, like
Yeah, it's-
I'm like, and I
Oh, no.
was like that. I should have scared myself,
When
I
he's
said,
sitting in
oh
that
my
window
God,
singing,
five niggas
singing
are
to
down
his
right
parents.
there,
They're right there.
It's,
Yeah.
oh God. Like and subscribe my channel here, people.
Uh,
Oh my
Since
God.
there's two other people here. Have either of you, Bren or Jason, have you seen The Last Unicorn? Because neither of these guys have.
The Last Unicorn.
I have
don't
yet to
think
see
so.
it in full. I've seen some bits and pieces, but I'm more into Flight of the Dragons.
I love Flight of Dragons.
I
I just wondering. That's like one of my favorite movies of all time. So I'm just wondering.
And Rebecca did
The
the
Last
art.
Unicorn.
The
Is that a
artwork.
live action movie?
No, it's an animated movie
Animated
by
movie.
Rankin Bass.
by the same studio.
What,
that
Rankin
did,
and Bass?
the
How did I not
Thundercats.
hear of that?
Yeah, you've seen Thundercats, of course.
Yeah.
No, the unicorns did it, and like the unicorn people, like they reused a lot
Really,
of
Ren?
that from the
You
last.
don't remember
Unicorn.
that? You're old as shit. You should remember that.
God damn.
Came out in 1982, so it was before Thundercats.
See, it came out in '82. We weren't even born yet. You would have been young enough to
Nathan,
know
you're
that
giving
it
him a
existed.
heart attack.
Oh, that's fucked up, Nathan.
Hey man, that's what you get. You're officially part of the show now. I got to
That's
rope you
beautiful.
into this old man shit too. You know? This is when he messaged me after the fact. He's like, "Man, you can't call me old, man. I done told you." That was like a silent agreement. You know, I was just expecting you to know, not to put it out there that I'm old. Yeah, you said you're old as shit. You
Hey,
said it like
I'll
last
tell you
week.
what, Shaggy. When the punches get pulled, man, you're on the list now.
I'll take it. We got that when you're having your heart attack. Hey, Tyler, there you go. There you go. Look at the screen. You want
Oh,
it
yeah.
simple. You got it.
Yeah,
Son of
I
a
saw that
bitch.
earlier. I saw he had radio as his avatar there because it was like DiCaprio and Gilbert Grape. It was Ben Stiller and Tropic Thunder as Simple Jack. Like I'm wondering what's going to be next week.
What's
He's got to keep
next?
this. Yeah, he's got to keep the trend going. So it's like poetry. So
It
so that it rhymes. You know.
Ren, I love you. You look fantastic for your age.
Well, thank you. You know, it's
People
the,
need to stop worrying about age. We're all aging better than people did like
Yeah.
20 years
Absolutely.
ago.
Dude, have you seen some of that shit? They'll be like Major League Baseball players. You look at them and they're just like, they look fucking haggard.
they're
It's
like
yeah,
20
he was
years old.
Yeah, he was 20.
Exactly.
I'm like, holy shit.
The 80s movies weren't far off with like the 30-year-old looking students in
Yeah.
their movies.
Or like the cast of Cheers, how old they were when the show was popular. Like we're
How old were
older
they?
than some of them were at the
Yeah.
time. And
Wow.
they look like way older than us. So yeah,
Yeah.
we're aging. We're aging good.
Yeah, we're just taking better
Everyone
care of ourselves.
remembers
We're
that
eating
Hobbit.
better.
Well, I mean, I speak for yourself.
You're just drinking some Coke Zero. That's all you're drinking there.
Technically, yes.
Yeah. And what brand of water is that?
Hey now. Hey, Deer
Okay.
Park.
All right. You
Yeah.
don't mind deer pissing.
Are you
shitting in his water.
Ren? Are you a Pepsi guy or a Coke guy?
I haven't drank a soda in about 30 years.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, what was your preference back then?
Dr. Pepper.
It's its
so,
own
I like
thing.
Pepsi.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like a middle ground. All right.
Yeah,
that's-
because we sell Dr Pepper in certain areas too. So
Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird how that works. It's like they've contracted, like Pepsi puts it out in certain places,
What?
Coke puts it out in other places. It's just kind of,
yeah. Did you
Kinda
know that,
odd.
Deucen?
Yes.
I'm sure he did.
I'm sure he was overwhelmed with joy.
Yeah.
But-
I'm so
Yeah,
distracted
The
by
fa-
Kevin
yeah, the
Smith
face
being
says
there.
it all.
It's like,
yeah.
I'm so distracted.
Well, a little bit better
I
now.
want to punch the
Yeah.
screen.
And even, I want to start a new thing every week too. Since I was talking to Tyler about this, and all the time, Kevin Smith is excited about this new
Oh,
segment
no.
that we're going to have on the show. Tyler and I are obsessed with buying things on eBay. I started reading the Ed Brubaker Captain America run, and I'm like, all right, fine. I guess I'll just start buying Marvel Legends. more Marvel Legends, I should say. So, has anybody bought anything? I'll start with Ren first because he dabbles in. If you can't tell behind him, he dabbles in collecting the action figures. Anything
Little bit.
caught your eye? You pull the trigger on anything?
I bought. I used to be really hooked on eBay, man, but Facebook claim sales, I've noticed myself getting into more. Like I like finding people's claims and then going in there and then claiming shit and knowing I don't fucking need it. So I've got to get myself out of that. eBay. I stopped getting into eBay when the buy it now thing got really popular.
Mm-hmm.
I really like waiting until like 3 seconds left and bidding on
sniping 'em,
something
sniping
and
people.
winning.
Yeah.
And that was the high for me.
I do that too. It depends on what it is.
I got
Yeah.
angry. I got angry when people would outbid me, so I don't like
Yeah.
that.
It's
I get
ha- I,
excited when I
I've
see the
succeeded
fight
at.
now. Because I'm like,
I've done
they
both.
outbid me, those motherfuckers, even though I was doing the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sneaky bitches. Even though I'm there too, they just beat me at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What'd you
And then
claim,
the little
Ren?
thing spins, and you're like, "Did I win it? Did I win it?" It's like you've been outbid, like son of a bitch,
Exactly.
No.
and it's over.
What'd you claim, Ren? On Facebook.
There was a I claimed a couple of beater He-Man bodies for my
Okay.
customs. If I can get them for less than $5, I always feel like I'm getting a deal. For me,
in
just
this
to,
market, yeah. Even if they
paint
are
on
beaters,
and
yeah.
jack up. So, Ren is one of those sniper guys. He just lost a fan. Ah, you're a liar.
Yeah, he's a liar. He'll be back. He's always here. He ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
what are the plan with those beater buddies? What are you thinking?
You never know. You never know. I've got some. I buy these. I don't know if I told you guys. I buy these heads from different creators, and what I'll do is I'll just
Cool.
find a body and just kind of customize it however I want. Start painting on it, and
Okay.
That's
it'll
awesome.
become something like those bull ones I did. Those are just He-Man bodies and some parts from other toys, and I put them together and paint them and stick them up in my cabinet.
I guess you beat
So
Daniel
stupid.
Carhoon or something.
More than likely, Daniel. Thank you for losing to me.
Just like Tyler did a mere 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
All right, Tyler, what do you
You
pick
need to
up
steam
this
my
week?
ass. All of you.
Nah, I'm good.
Uh,
I'm good.
I haven't bought anything.
Don't want
on
any
eBay.
of
Well,
those
that's
turkey
making-
burger dingleberries you got
It's
going
making
on.
Kevin Smith
I
happy.
got a ton of turkey burgers to chow down on, man. So I just keep it going there.
All right.
I haven't bought anything on eBay in the last couple of weeks. I mean, I've looked at stuff. I was looking at some, like a couple of GoBots. I was looking at some. Sometimes I look to either upgrade or add some other stuff. I was looking at some Bionic 6 stuff, like Men on Card stuff, which I'm like, oh my god, like
Is that going for a lot? I'm so scared to look.
some of the and every time you have to look every song because sometimes certain characters don't even show up, and then other ones, like if you want to complete, it costs a lot of money. If you want a Men on Card, I looked up. I have a Clunk Men on Card. I bought it like for $20, like in 2004 or something like that. It's going for close to $600, and there was only two auctions for that. So it's scary. But I was just looking to see if like maybe getting the mule van or like a glove van on card for like $80, just kind of noodling stuff because I'm holding back on any more spending. I get paid this week. I've been donating to Ren for a very noble cause.
Oh, sweet.
So
we should expect a shirt design.
a new
sometime soon.
T-shirt design is
Alright.
is underway. Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
Oh my God! Yeah, I was like, okay, I'll give you some more money if we can make this happen. So we're going all out. We're going big time on this one here. So
I'm excited to see it because actually the last shirt I purchased on TeePublic, I believe, is the
Silverhawks one.
Yeah, the one that
Yeah.
Ren did. Yeah, Rebecca,
then you'll really like this one.
What about you, Rebecca?
Everyone will.
What you picked up
eBay?
anything? Well, just in general, any figures?
Well, the War Duke that I got for John like a year ago finally shipped, so that was
nice.
the last thing. Which was infuriating because I ordered it from Big Bad Toy Store like a year ago, something like that. And then our comic shop had it like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, "Can I just get this and cancel?"
Yeah.
But I was like, "I'll just hold off. I'll just wait for it." But
Tyler and I have
that
done
was the
that
last thing I
plenty of
got.
times. We go into Target and be like, "I have this on pre-order. I'll just buy it here and cancel
It's
while
the
I'm in the
same thing.
store."
I got him the Elvira figure, and it was the same situation. I pre-ordered her from Big Bad Toy Store. It took forever to get here, and our comic shop got it before my pre-order. Which you would think, like, the point of pre-ordering something is so that you get it first, but
Well, Big Bad, they usually, and that varies too because they'll get Marvel Legends in faster than some people, and then sometimes they're behind on other stuff. I guess it sort of just depends on the
yeah, because I
distributor.
got my Marvel Legends Hercules from them, and that shipped like really freaking fast when I got it before I saw it in the stores or anything. So
Yeah, I guess it varies.
Depends on what it is.
Yeah.
I think it's the companies more than the toy store or whatever.
Mr. Kevin Smith, what did you get? You pick up anything? I don't know. I haven't really talked to Doosan about like his spending habits in terms of action figures or anything. I don't really think he buys stuff too often, but we'll check it out.
Yeah, rarely. Just prior to New Year, I got some Origins figures.
All right, let me do that.
Collecting
There we
those,
go.
right?
I mean, you've been better off buying a fucking lottery ticket, dude. I mean, just you're
Nah.
wasting your money. You're
wasting
wasting your money.
like the figures that I bought are the figures that I used to have as a kid. So I got He-Man, I got Skeletor, and I got Evelyn, and that's all for me. Like I'm not going to buy any other figure.
Wouldn't you rather just me donate you like a vintage figure that I've got an extra of or something
Hey,
like that?
I'm
man?
sure he would
Okay,
take
give
that.
me He-Man, give me Skeletor, and Evelyn.
There we go.
All right. Well, I've only got one Evelyn, and I've got one. All right. You know what? I'll get back to you on it there. But I would much rather donate something like to you than have to, you know.
Yeah, I'm curious though what the postage would cost on that.
Because
that's gotta-
Probably $60 for each.
Yeah, there we go. Because it's got to go. It's got to go to France after all, as you say. That's where he's from.
Yeah,
The
all
French
their
are
apples there.
assholes.
Yeah. I will say I want to thank Doosan though, because if people aren't familiar with his channel, which I'm sure most people on this channel or who listen
At
to
this
podcasts
point,
are,
most are, yes. Because
yeah, I just love that he uploads so many upscales or just videos of promos of 80s cartoons back in the 80s and 90s of like, hey, tune in 4 o'clock in the afternoons for the She-Ra or 3 o'clock for Thundercats. Like, I love watching his old commercials of advertising when the shows would come on, and he's got a shitload on his channel along with a bunch of other fun things he uploads. And I just want to thank him for taking time to do that, because I just love watching those kinds of videos. They're just so much fun.
I'll
Right,
go
and
back.
like so many are like lost. Like nobody
Yeah.
else does that.
Yeah.
So,
And there's a bunch on YouTube, but just knowing he takes time to do that a lot and does all those wonderful upscales. We got to get you to an upscale of like a Bionic 6, dude, like just the intro or something like that.
Yeah, but unfortunately, the sources of Bionic 6 still remain bunch of VHS recordings. There's
Wow.
still not a single sign of a DVD release. Nothing.
no.
So
It's
everything you
weird.
do is off DVD releases, pretty much.
Yeah, because you need to have a good enough source for the result to come out nicely.
Yeah, if it's just like
Okay.
a shit VHS rip, there's only so much you can do with it.
I mean, because
It's still
I'm
not gonna look
watching
that
the
good.
bootlegs, and the bootlegs, I mean, they're good. You know, I have other VHS transfers to DVD that are really, really good.
How are the
but-
bootlegs compared to like the stuff online? Because I've been rewatching it online and it's like so bad.
Well, there's certain ones online that are better than others, but the
I mean, it's
VHS
kind of
quality-
nostalgic watching it like that, but at the same time, I'd like to see like details and
Well,
stuff.
yeah, the one I've got, it's a nice. It's you got a complete picture. There's no cutouts. It is the entire the sci-fi airings. When they used to come on the Sci-Fi Channel back in the '90s. So
There's a problem
they're
with
good.
that. With
Yeah.
those, the sci-fi airings have cut some scenes out.
Ooh,
God,
Yeah,
that
You can
yeah.
find on Internet Archive someone uploaded a couple of uncut episodes, and you can see what was cut on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Okay. Yeah, I need you to send me the
Yeah, well,
information,
send,
'cause yeah.
send me the links and I'll get shit and
Yeah, we'll do.
to all of us. Yeah,
Because we're going to have a Bionic 6 discussion here in the coming weeks.
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, because I was watching those ones you sent me, and
Quality's not good on them.
but that's how they were back then, and we thought it was amazing. I'm old as shit, remember? So
Yeah,
that's-
that is true. That is
that's-
true. So you felt
it
right
was-
at home watching
But
it.
there's
then.
some
Yeah,
stuff
I
on
was like,
VHS,
man, I don't know how we lived.
I know some stuff because I watched. I had The Greatest Adventures of All transferred to DVD years ago, and I just popped it in to watch it for fun. And just watching that good, like classic VHS. It's not, messed up and distorted. It's beautiful, classic, clear VHS, and it was just, the sound effects. I really want to have all my He-Man, She-Ra tapes transferred to DVD so I could watch them all in that nice classic. Because until we get the Blu-rays in hand, I'm like, I have no use for those DVDs anymore. I don't. I hate watching the DVDs because I don't like the panning. I don't like the sounds.
Speaking of which, Tyler, it's kind of awesome you brought that up. JSP had asked, and Deuce, and you probably know this better than anyone, does the Eternia Collection Blu-ray set have the bumpers on the episodes?
Unfortunately, not.
Okay.
Which is not necessary for me, but it would
It's
be
not.
cool.
It would have been a
Yeah.
nice addition.
Yeah, it's the same problem with like with Bionic 6. They're just not good enough sources for those bumpers.
Yeah. It's a shame that like some stuff was not taken care of properly, and it's just a lot. You ever think about the amount of things that have been lost to time just because they didn't store
All the
it
time.
properly? Yeah.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah,
It's
but here's the
scary.
thing about Masters of the Universe is that it's all stored in a warehouse in UK, and powers that be just don't want to invest money to go there, get the stuff, and make real HD transfers.
And that, I mean, you bring up a good point with that too, because I guess you got to think of it in a business sense. And this is going to sound terrible for me to say, so I'll kick myself off the show if you guys want me to. But maybe, just maybe, they don't see it as much of a viable thing to where it's like, all right, it's not worth our time and money and effort to make X amount of these sets when we know we're probably only going to sell X amount.
Well, I agree with that. When they keep putting fuck ups like Kevin Smith and Rob David Ted Biaselli,
Hey, man, he's right here. Come on.
I don't give a fuck. He needs to hear this shit.
you
know?
Oh no, you made him cry.
I mean, Kevin, crocodile
Which
tears.
isn't
I don't
hard to
believe
do.
any of it. Like I don't believe anything else you say anyway. But when they keep making these shitty decisions, and they have such a divisive reaction to anything new, then yeah, why would we want to invest in putting out these really beautiful deluxe Blu-ray HD transfers when people are like, oh, well, they didn't like the new show we did. Why were we going to invest in money in that?
I
Kevin,
think
rebuttal?
it'd be really nice if they did a crowdfunding, and
Yeah.
No, they don't need crowdfunding, because let's remember that Universal is a multi-billion-dollar company, and when it comes to things like this, you have to think about long-term investment. They aren't going to get their money right away, but in the long term, they will only be able to distribute HD quality. Nobody will want SD quality.
Yeah.
Plus, another thing to consider, Universal literally has a division that exists solely for creating junk, such as the recent Monsters movie and Woody Woodpecker that nobody remembers even.
That's true. That Monsters
So if
movie.
they can waste
Woodpecker
money
had
on that, they might as well waste money on Masters of the Universe HD transfers.
Okay, yeah. All right, yeah, touche. Yeah, good
God
point.
bless Deucen.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they made another Woody Woodpecker.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I think it
They
was.
just made one movie, but everybody forgot it.
I didn't
Yeah,
even know there was a movie. I don't remember seeing
Example
images
A.
or nothing.
Apparently, me
Well-
and Tyler completely forgot about it.
That was it was the same thing where it's like, here's Woody Woodpecker interacting with live action actors, right? It was one of those.
Oh,
deals.
great! Another one that like
Yeah,
snorts
and
bullshit.
there's a poop joke.
A poop
No,
joke.
of
A
course there
poop.
is.
Oh,
Well,
great!
there
Woody
has to
Woodpecker
be.
shits on people.
Oh hell.
Yeah, because that's what we all missed out on when we were watching, the '80s
Yeah.
version and the older versions too. Why aren't he shitting on anybody?
Yeah.
Well, after they
Um,
completely
yeah.
pissed on.
Well, then they're
Peter
gonna have to bring
Potter,
back
they
Heckle
have
and Jekyll
no
so they can
respect
shit
for
on
anything.
people too.
I mean, at some point, and I know it sucks, but we do just have to face facts that like they don't care.
They
just
don't
throwing-
care, but you know what?
they're
that's
just
why
throwing
we're
shit.
here to encourage
Well,
you that it
exactly.
is important to care. That's why we don't want
Yeah.
you to settle. We want you to remember that there are great things out there. Maybe not currently, but there's a ton of great stuff to get your mind excited. And maybe you want to do some artwork or do some customs or do some, I don't want to encourage fanfic because, oh God, there's plenty of people doing that shit right now and it's just not good. But I want people to love and appreciate all these properties we talk about. That's why I like looking at Ren's artwork, all the videos that Deucen is uploading all the time, all the beautiful work that John and Rebecca are doing, the custom that Joe does. The rambling that me and Nathan do on a regular basis about how much this is badass and this is badass and that sucks balls and and this is great and that's not.
But at the same time, we can be constructive of that older stuff too, when need be. It happens.
Well, yeah, because not everything that was old was good. I mean,
Yeah.
I like. I'm watching. I was
Exactly.
just watching some more Thunder Arc today, and there's some episodes that are like, these are not very good, but this one's really good. That one's really not, but that one's badass. You know.
I mean, is there any of those properties from back then 100% across the board? Every episode kicked ass. There's a few. There's always
No.
a
Dungeons
dud.
and Dragons.
I was about to
No, there
that
were
was
some
great.
duds in that one.
Uh-oh.
Really?
No,
I don't
Yeah.
remember
no,
any
it
bad
was
episodes.
Dude,
pretty-
the one that
It was
clearly
so
rips off the
solid.
Ewoks, that was a shitty episode.
Yeah,
It's
there were
just
a
because
couple
you
of
hate Ewoks, you racist.
No, I like the I like the Ewoks. I'm saying this is just a shitty episode. I will not be called a racist on my own damn podcast, you French asshole.
I'm going to pull a Joe thing. This was one of the things I got in the mail last week.
Oh,
Ah,
cool.
yes.
God, I
So,
love that
I'm
cover.
not going to show off anything on the inside because next week we are going to come back for part 2 of Earl Norm discussion. We're going to be talking about these other things that weren't Master Universe related that he did.
Yeah.
That is gorgeous.
And then, of
Deucen, you
course,
like a bunch of those, Deucen?
he's not even
Yeah.
paying attention anymore.
I
He's
know. He
already
hears me
zoning out.
talk. He's turned me
Yeah,
off.
he's already. Yeah, he already said one of those.
He's
D&D
cooking dinner.
episodes wasn't good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe breakfast. What time is it there?
3 a.m.
Holy
Oh,
my
shit.
wow.
God.
Yeah, my dude. That's when I'm like peak hours, man. That's when I'm
Yeah.
rocking and rolling.
Well, since he's up so late, we probably should get this watch along underway then.
Yeah, I guess we should. So,
But I love all these
Zentron's
debates
begging
and
for
conversations
it.
we've had tonight, though. I mean, this has been tremendous, all these discussions we've had.
it really, I like I said, I wasn't expecting that. I never know what to expect when we start the show and get into it. I know it's going to be good to me anyway. I'm biased, but I really wasn't expecting it to take flight.
Yeah,
such as
we're
it
not
did.
going to look and see Nathan's hung himself in the background while me and Ren are talking about. No, he's not. He's bad. No, he's great. You know.
All right, guys. All right, come on, knock it off.
So
Yeah.
we're about to watch The
Stop being
Island.
nice to each other.
So
Yeah.
we're about. No, Kevin Smith.
Fuck, no.
We're not gonna watch The Island. We're
No,
gonna
because
watch.
then I will have hung myself if we're going to do that.
We're going to watch a part 1 and part 2 of the Council of Evil. And before we do jump into that, the link is down below. So in the description. So if you guys that are with us live and after the fact, go ahead and click on that, click on the links, have them loaded up before we get going. But we haven't done MYP in a while. We haven't shown any love to that property. So I do want to get Ren and Doosan's perspectives on MYP. Like, do you... of course, Doosan does. We'll start with Ren first because a lot of people are like, wait, there was a show that came out in the early 2000s. Do you remember this?
No,
Were you excited about it? You don't remember anything.
I never watched it.
Wow.
Like, you have gone back since and watched it? Or is this
No.
this is your first time watching MYP,
Let's
period?
let's watch it.
Holy shit. You didn't even
Shit.
watch these 2 episodes
He's a virgin.
ahead of time?
No,
Really?
no. I wanted to see it with you guys.
Holy
Aw.
shit.
I can't believe this.
That's cool.
That's awesome. It's
Yeah,
just
but I
kind of...
feel
It's cool that he wants to watch
We're
it.
watching
With
the end of season 1, though. Like it's his first episode. Like, nope.
But it's a banger. It kicks
All
ass.
right.
There's a reason that Tyler wanted to do it. He does have a keen eye for wanting to pick like really good episodes. But yeah,
I mean, it's not perfect. It's got problems.
I mean, and we'll get into that as we watch the problems.
I'm
that
sure
we-
Deucen will agree. It's probably got problems, but
Well, what
Yep.
Deuce, what's your and you can be short and sweet with it if you want, but what is kind of your baseline opinion of the series as a whole? Do you think it's decent for what it is, or like not that great overall in your opinion?
Well, it's got a far better understanding of what Masters of the Universe is than Kevin Smith, Rob David, and Ted Biaselli combined.
Yeah.
That's well, and I think part of
Yeah.
that attributes to the fact that you also have to think about the time period that it came out. 20 years ago, everything was different than what it is now. Now it's more about let's take these IPs, let's just churn something out, based off of whatever. I felt like this series did have the best of intentions. It has its problems as we'll get into, but overall,
Basically, this comes from the dying days of quality television.
mm-hmm.
I would agree with it because this is also on the cusp of when reality TV was starting to really take over, and that's because it was cheaper to make.
It was kind of around that time where kids stopped watching cartoons too.
That too, yeah. I would agree
And when
with that.
the reboot craze began.
Oh
Yes.
god.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so it kind of hit that sweet spot if they were sort of trying this out before everyone. Well, this and Ninja Turtles.
And
were-
G.I. Joe was brought back, and Transformers. and-
Okay, yeah, all right. Well, never mind.
I'm just saying, like on the comic book shelves and toy
Yeah.
shelves, like all these were kind of being brought back to the forefront, and they were all doing very well for a brief period.
And yet they still flew under the radar though, because we have people.
Well,
I mean, there's
well,
plenty of people who are like, they did that back then?
Yeah,
I didn't know.
I mean, yeah. I mean, well, the He-Man 2002 line didn't do great financially. Mattel considers it a flop.
Again, that was
know.
around the time kids stopped buying toys and watching cartoons. They were
Yeah.
starting to get onto devices and whatever and video games.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because video games were also becoming longer. You know, with Nintendo games, you play them 5-8 hours, you're done. You go outside. These games, open world, you spend 60 plus hours in it. What's a kid gonna do? You know,
Mhm.
especially if the parent's not like, get your ass outside. They'll just sit there and play. That's why Ren with his kid, he's like, all right, you got time at the game, get your ass outside.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
more glory hole.
Yeah, no.
Damn.
I
I
was-
asked him about that last week too. He was like, "Oh, what?" He was like, "What is it?" I was like,
That's
"I'm not
what
gonna tell you." He
makes it-
said, "Don't make me look it up, Dad." I was like, "All right, man. It's some shit."
Did
you
he
shouldn't
admit
look
to
up."
saying it at least?
No, huh?
I
So
think
he-
that's what we heard. I don't think that's what we
Yeah, he
Okay.
he didn't even. He didn't
I don't know
what he
what's going on at your house, Ren, but
was.
I love his ultimate. Don't make me look it up, Dad.
Yeah, he was like, "Don't make me look it up, Dad. You better tell me what it is." I'm like, "Shit." I opened the fucking can. Now I gotta close it.
I
All
picture
right.
Ren as a big brother. It's hard to picture Ren as a dad. He just seems like he's got a younger brother in the other room. You know?
Well, I see Ren's fatherly instincts of trying as hard as he can to kind of be more like a friend as opposed to a imposing father figure.
Fuck that. I whoops his ass.
That's a big brother.
Yeah, I'm all about like running in his room and tackling him while he's on the phone and playing video games with his friends and embarrassing the shit out of him.
All right.
Yeah,
That's-
he's a brother.
that's what I
He's a
do
big brother.
on a regular,
Yeah.
on a regular basis. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. That makes I could see Ren running up to his kid while he's sitting there in his chair playing the game, microphone sticking out much like it is on Ren's headset, and Ren just busts in and just, like lifts a leg and just like farts as
Oh,
loud
yeah.
as he
Oh yeah. Hot box. Yeah.
It's like the reverse Bam Margera and his dad on Jackass.
Yeah.
Yeah. I start smacking. I
Ren
do. I
comes in,
do.
starts smacking on his kid. Just,
I fold him up, man, and make him say, "You still got it." You know, I always tell him if the first time he whoops my ass, he's got to go out and live on his own. So
Well, see, yeah, but now you're just setting him up to where he just purposely never whips your ass, so he just lives there.
He gets
forever.
free room and board.
thank you. That's exactly my point. Duh.
You don't want him to go?
Hey, I don't want him to whoop my ass.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like, well, I was like, well, why would he do that if he's gonna? Yeah, I wouldn't do
Yeah.
anything either.
No, well, at some point in time, I'm assuming when he's 20, 21 years old, he'll be out anyway. But as a teenager, this is the reason why I stay in shape. I will never get my ass kicked by my son. And he's like, "You wait till you're in a wheelchair, Dad." I'm like, "Son of a bitch."
I could see Ren now still just like beating the shit out of his kid.
Listen,
he's-
I'm gonna hook him with the cane and run him over with my hover round.
Yeah, because I mean, at this point, you're thinking, in Ren's case, 50 years down the road when he's
Yeah.
old enough to have to be
Yeah.
in a wheelchair, right, Ren? Wink, wink.
Yeah.
That will have flying wheelchairs at that point. He can
Oh
just
yeah, I'm
hover
gonna have a
around.
He like
battering ram
Professor
in the
X
front.
hovering around. It'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy to think about that. Back in the 60s, people are like, "Yeah, by 2020, there's gonna be flying cars and
I
shit."
know.
No,
I'm like, where's my fucking
Yeah.
flying
Yeah,
car?
we're gonna be living in the Fifth Element.
Then
and,
the Vietnam happened, and everyone
Yeah.
got depressed.
I like the tone of voice too, and the way that he says it. It just makes it sound even more depressing.
I know.
It's great. I love it.
I wish Jason was like narrating like shows about like history, like and then Vietnam happened and then everyone got depressed and yeah, I just
You should do that and put it on your channel. It'd be fucking amazing.
yeah. I'd listen to Dustin's History of the World.
You have
That'd
the
be awesome.
coolest voice. I'm not gonna lie to you. Coolest accent. It's pretty dope.
All right.
He's blushing.
Yeah, he's blood. I mean, I like
He's
it.
Yeah.
crying.
He's like,
Yeah,
I guess.
He's not impressed.
Yeah, he's not impressed. There we go.
Oh, he's blushing.
God, the amount of time that he spent just like, all right, and screenshot that, and
Oh,
screenshot that, and screenshot that.
Pop
Hell, he
was-
probably did it like 5 minutes before he sent him the link. I mean, the way
Yeah.
he
He
just
probably
constantly
did. Yeah, he
finding
is
stuff
very
as quick
quick.
as
I
he does.
actually did.
He actually did. There you go.
Man, I was
5 minutes. He's like, oh, better hurry up. I think that's why when he messaged me just a sec, he was finishing
Yeah.
up the 5
He was
minutes.
getting
that he had to
ready.
work on
Yep.
this
Wow.
to wrap it all up.
He's
All
He's a
right.
genius.
Well, if all of you here have it loaded up, let's go ahead and pop Ren's cherry. Council of Evil, Part 1. Tyler, give us that countdown and we'll get it going.
3, 2, 1, action.
Ren, I hope you did have Council of Evil Part 1 up. You probably
I did not.
You
Of
didn't?
course.
No,
Oh, so now you're behind.
I am.
Let's restart it.
All right, all right.
I don't even know where it's at. Like, where's
Oh.
the
Oh my
link?
god.
Send in the
I
link
sent you
up.
the link in Messenger.
All right, Kevin,
man.
hold the tears,
Did you?
Kevin.
Oh,
Oh,
hold the
shit.
tears, Kevin.
Uh,
Remember, I sent that. I will read what I sent it to you, and you said wonderful with 2 exclamation points. You don't remember
Okay,
that?
calm down, buddy. Calm down. I
Oh
told
my
you. I
God.
told you a long time ago. I don't listen to you.
Oh,
All right. Is that?
I'm waiting.
All right. All right. Not
Good,
this one. This is first 10
Princess
episodes,
Bride.
right? That was Bionic 6.
Yeah. Well, Joe's gonna do that.
Oh,
until
here it is.
time
Okay, I got it.
I love how Rebecca was
Send
the
it
only
to
one that
you
got my
again.
Princess Bride reference.
Oh, you just sent it to me again? All right, here it is. I got it. All
Well,
right.
until
we're
we're ready, enjoy this beautiful image of Joe Amato.
right. Now, Ren, before we get going, do you have that play? Like, is it on your laptop? Is it going to play in your headset? Because if it's going to play out loud, I'm going to have to mute you.
And Rob Davis going to be on my ass.
Yeah.
It says, can you guys hear it in my headphones?
We
No.
can't hear it.
I can't hear it.
That's
But you might want to
Terrible.
slide the volume down so you can hear it.
He said this sucks. This is terrible.
Whatever, white people.
Now we can't hear Ren.
Yeah, I can't hear him.
Uh-oh.
It's Rob David. He's on to us.
Oh no, he's hacking us.
Yeah.
Oh, he muted himself.
Yeah, I muted myself.
Okay.
All
Stop
right.
it.
All right, Ren, you got it up now.
I got it up.
All
very
right,
smart.
here we
Now
go.
shut
All right.
up.
Poppin' Ren's cherry, take 2. Countdown, Tyler.
Into the glory hole. 3, 2,
Oh, no.
1, action.
All right. Can't believe he's never watched this before.
I know. I can't believe it either. What kind of a fan are you? Well, we're getting his live reaction to this intro here.
Yeah, we're getting Kevin's too, if you can't tell.
That's right. He can't believe the shit he's seeing here. It's like the fans when this thing aired. Some people were pissed off. They thought it was making fun of Filmation. Others thought it was really cool.
Mhm.
Why?
I don't know. There was assholes back then too. I thought it was a fun homage.
Just laughing.
But well, we do need to have some conversation going here. So I'll just get the ball
we do.
rolling here.
Yeah.
But yes, for those who don't know, and for Ren, this was the season finale of season 1.
I love that.
And in
I
the
love that
States,
shot.
they actually I'm sorry, Rebecca. What shot were you talking about?
The evil Lynn looking up with all the evil warriors behind her. just
Oh
like-
yeah, that come from below their shot. They
It's
actually
a
withheld
masterpiece
playing it.
compared to freaking Revelations.
Well, hell, there's a bunch of masterpieces compared to that piece of shit. But they withheld playing this in the States. Like Canada got to watch this along with I think The Last Stand. Or at least they got to see this. Whereas our last episode in the States was I forgot. Separation was the last episode played in the States on the original airings in the U.S. And we had to wait till season 2 started to see this along with the season 2 opener, which was The Last Stand, because it's all one big episode, the 3 episodes. But I remember being so pissed off that we didn't get to see this season finale until several months later.
It may have been for the best, though, because when we get to that point, how it ends, I feel like you would immediately want to see the aftermath.
Well,
and
but
not
that would
have
have
to
had
wait.
us all like, oh my God, like we got to now. I mean, the anticipation.
I mean,
to see The
that
Last
would have
Stand.
drawn some more interest. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
I think what I enjoyed most about watching this is just immediately we're thrust into battle, have a wide variety of characters on either side.
Because
And-
to have gotten this roster of lineup in a Filmation episode, I mean, our heads would have exploded like a Stinkor's tank here. It would have been overwhelming to have this many characters in one big battle.
Yeah.
That was the one good thing about the show too, is that you could have so many villains and heroes in the same episode, even if they're in the background or they're part of a battle. Whereas Filmation, it was a big deal to have Cyclone show up, and that is it. There's no one else there.
Well, yeah,
Rarely
more
were they just
necessary.
thrown in there just to have this character there. Like they were actually doing stuff.
Yes.
You know, it wasn't like in Revelations where it's like, oh, here's Blade. He doesn't
Oh, here-
really do anything.
Here's Clanchip and Fisto. Oh, Fisto made a fisting joke. Ha! That's great.
Or worse, kill people off.
Well,
Yeah.
let's get Rand's initial impressions just here, seeing the animation, seeing these characters, kind of seeing them.
All right, so-
in movement for the first time.
So
And
what
you can
did
be
you guys
honest.
call this again?
This is the-
PLR?
NYP.
Mike Young Productions.
Okay, so I want to say you guys have made me a liar because I had no idea what that meant.
So you have seen that.
I have this whole series on
Oh.
DVD.
Man. Here,
He had us going.
now look, Kevin's crying
Look,
now.
look, he's crying more. Look what you did, Ren.
Yeah,
All
I
right. Well,
apologize.
now that
man.
you have
No,
consumed
you're
this, what
I
are-
thought you guys were talking about the Space He-Man one.
No,
Oh,
that's
New
New
Adventures.
Adventures.
Oh, New
of He-Man.
Adventures.
No,
New
no, no.
Adventures. Okay.
Yeah.
That one I've never seen.
Do you? So I take it
You don't need to.
you enjoy this if you own it, right? Maybe.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
How did all of you guys like the redesigns for the characters?
For the most part, I liked them.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were
I
hard
enjoyed
with
them.
me.
I have the whole set back here.
The action figures?
Yeah, including a lot of the statues that they made later.
Yeah.
There's only a few that I don't have.
And you said that was what, Grizzlor?
Grizzlo and a couple other ones, yeah. I finally got Stinkor and Jitsu, which cost me a pretty good amount of money.
Yeah, and it deserves so because that was the one that broke my heart that I never got a hold of when that line was
Yeah.
going.
We talk about this anytime we watch NYP. Do you enjoy or do you think it's excessive with the amount of strength portrayed, or like in the fight scenes, like how far back they're going, or you see like the swooshes,
The anime-inspired stuff.
anime-inspired stuff? Does that bother any of you here? I know Tyler kind of iffy on it sometimes.
I don't like the anime, even though they said they did it because that was Dragon Ball Z and various
That
other
was
things
what
were
was
so
in.
popular.
I mean, you want to do that, right? You want to kind of capitalize on that popularity to sort of bring in that crowd if you can.
I get it, but there's just certain things like like right there, like Cloth was flying, look what looks to be a mile away.
Yeah.
And everyone in this fight, like there were certain shots where He-Man's fighting people very close in close proximity. Looks good. It flows. Rapid fire. Boom, 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 boom. And then, it's just sometimes it gets oversaturated with people are just as strong as He-Man. Like if Man-at-Arms punches someone, they go flying, 500 feet back. Tila punches someone, they go flying 500 feet back. It's like not everyone can be as tough as He-Man.
True.
Plus, it comes across as a pale imitation of anime because it doesn't have that same dynamic feel that we see in Japanese animation. So it doesn't work really.
Mm.
doesn't hit as hard.
Well,
Doesn't
plus
make
when they
much-
throw in, and I never, even when this originated, I did not like the mix of like these CGI effects with the 2D
Yeah.
animation because they did that in the '90s Spider-Man show, and I hated it as a kid. I
It
thought
was
it
very
looked terrible.
jarring. It was
Yeah,
very
it
jarring.
didn't look good.
Yeah, even at this point in time, it just wasn't ready for such use.
No,
Mhm.
it wasn't, and it doesn't make any sense. You know why you would have because so much of the first season was all 2D animation, maybe a few 3D inspired effects thrown in there. Like even vehicles would be like 3D animated. It looked so like odd, but you had 2D animated characters in the cockpit.
Mhm.
But I mean,
It's pretty
overall, all
much
the
done to
designs are
save
great.
up time.
Yeah, which I mean, I could forgive all that if some of the creative choices were better, but or some of the dialogue was a bit better at times.
Well, let's get into that a little bit because we're roughly about 7.5 minutes in. What are some of the issues that you have in regards to part one here?
I will say what we're getting ready to watch right now is Man at Arms is saying that King Randor says the state of high alert is no longer enforced. The King is saying there are no more threats on Eternia. We're all going to go take a break. So when this is over, Man at Arms takes full responsibility. Like, wait a second here. You didn't issue this. King Randor did. King Randor's ass should be apologizing and making up for this, but he's nowhere to be seen during the rest of this entire story. So really, if anybody's at fault, it's King Randor for ignoring the fact that Skeletor's not locked up. Oh, it's okay. It's
Who's the biggest threat on Eternia right
yeah.
now?
So just because we've imprisoned his henchmen, like, doesn't mean there's no more problems. So that means
But Tyler, maybe he knows his brother better than most people.
oh, fuck the whole brother aspect.
Benefit of the
God,
doubt, man.
stupid. Even though you need a reason. I mean, you could come up with a much more creative reason of getting these guys here to show up and team up with Skeletor. And I mean, yeah, having his warriors in prison to at least present the idea that Skeletor's weakened, but he's still out there, so we got to be ready.
And I like
But-
the idea of that scene just there that Skeletor looks up and he's like, okay.
Yeah.
I have
By the
plenty
way-
of other options.
By the way, is anyone else bothered by the perpetual sunset above Eternus?
It happens a lot on the show. It's always like sunset on Eternus, isn't it?
Maybe that was just a choice that it's like, it's
Mhm.
easy on the eyes. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It
And
looks
the
like
inconsistency-
urine.
Well, are you trying to say you've never seen a beautiful sunset in your life?
I did.
Someone's
and
always
this ain't
pissing
it.
on his sunset. I will say I don't like Robato's voice here at all.
You don't like the Sean Connery Stratos?
I'm not a fan of that either. And
Like
I
I
feel
said, I felt like that was some like inside joke.
well,
Yeah,
when I-
Like,
also-
it just confuses us.
When it comes to voices, Evil Seed's voice, it's just like one of those scientists from the New Adventures.
oh no, you can't compare those assholes to Evil Seed. Like
It's the same voice actor.
but the Evil Seed voice is so much better than those.
It's the same voice as that short
Well,
scientist.
if it's the same voice actor, okay, fine. But I'm like, those scientists. I mean, they look like a bunch of fucking silk merchants, monks, and teachers. They do not look like scientists. And oh my god, the voice acting is so bad. But Evil Seed is vastly superior, dude.
Not this Evil Seed.
Yes, this Evil Seed. I'm telling you right now, Deucin.
No,
You should
the
show-
original
yeah,
Evil Seed
yeah,
is badass. This one is
Oh, that one is
a
too.
scientist.
No, he's not a scientist. There's no scientist here.
Hey, you
It's
can't
his
just sit there and
voice.
mock him because you're getting mad at him.
No, I can do that.
Yeah, you're racist.
I'm surrounded by assholes. You're all French.
We motherfucker.
Yeah.
Uh,
God. I can't wait till power comes. I'm going to confront Ren's ass, and I'm going to France.
Damn.
You're all going down.
You're gonna have to take more time off, man. I feel bad for the Masters though. You really got to think about that. You've been on high alert all this time. You finally feel like you get a fucking break, and then you're 5 minutes into it, and you're already thrust back into action and having to scope out stuff. That would
That's
blow
your
me
job,
out.
man.
I'd be so pissed off.
Well,
Yeah.
Get over it. That's
Nathan
the
definitely
job.
would be.
I love
I
the
do-
little teases that we get for
Yeah.
each. You don't see who they are yet, just little hints.
Well, and that was a nice throwback to Mechaneck's Lament, which was a decent episode. I mean, Count Mars steals the show in that episode.
Yeah, speaking of which, why does Marzo still use the same raft?
Oh, I mean, he's imprisoned in it, so I assumed it was just a quick, like, story plot device to, like, hey, you guys remember this? You remember this? Count Mars was coming. I mean, yeah,
These guys
I
are
guess I've-
badass.
I do like these giants, which I didn't like them when they first aired. I didn't like them at all, but I have grown to love
really?
these giants. Yeah,
I'm surprised
They
too.
have cool voices.
They would have been, I think, a badass addition to the classics line since they
yes,
did
they
a
would
few
have.
2000X characters. Yeah, that would have been cool to have those.
I remember I really wanted Axel a while back to do a Jack and the Beanstalk inspired illustration of like He-Man and Mossman entangled in like an evil seed beanstalk with like thorns.
All right,
and
Ren,
have,
take
and have
notes.
like it had the green giant like climbing up the beanstalk to get a hold of him. Or coming down from the beanstalk.
Basically, human stealing chicken from the giants.
Yeah, he's stealing a
They
chicken that
golden
lays
egg,
golden
yeah.
eggs. Him and Mossman, yeah. But because I just love Jack and the Beanstalk, and I thought giants in a beanstalk made of thorns.
I can see
know.
that in Earl Norm
Yeah.
style. That's like very
Oh.
fairy tale like book.
Yeah,
Oh, that looks awesome.
yeah. Axel thought it was an awesome idea too, but I think
Never
Ren
did
could
it.
work some wonders. No, we never got around to doing it, and probably never will.
Gonna pull out.
Oh my
like
god! Because
like
I've been watching the episode, I didn't see Kevin Smith's crying.
He just can't believe this.
I had
Yeah,
it
I
all.
can't believe it. I'll do a quick time check for everyone.
What was he crying
there
about that
watching.
time?
13:25 is where we're at.
Yeah,
So
that's where
just
I'm
wanna
at,
do
too.
a quick check
Yep.
for everybody on there.
I am at
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, well, someone in the chat had asked, because I know some people, because I use YouTube Premium, some people don't. There's going to be ads in there, so they might.
Yeah, I've
lag a
got
little
ads.
behind.
Like-
yeah,
Yeah, for like Geico and all that shit.
yeah, you'll be a little delayed, but I'm going to toss this out from JSP, and we'll get the opinions of Ren and Dusan here. Hate that sword. What's your opinion on it, Ren?
I was not a fan of the sword
This
actually, and this
sword doesn't bother me.
Disgusting.
I don't like the transforming sword. I don't like it.
Yeah,
I don't have
it
any
doesn't-
problems with it. Sometimes I think overall I like it.
It's way too technological. It
Yeah.
removes the mysticism about the thing.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I guess maybe for me
It's,
it just
it's a
works
magic
more-
sword. It's enchanted. It's not technology.
Plus, what doesn't make sense is that it's a leftover of an unused plot.
Well, and I remember the
Because
horseman said too when they.
originally the plot was going to be He-Man obtains the two halves of the power sword. It's now his, and Man-at-Arms creates a new power sword, which is also a crummy
Which was-
idea. Of
yeah, it was a
Man-at-Arms
bullshit.
creating the new sword, but still,
Yeah.
it's like you're not using that plot anymore. So why are you going ahead with that?
Right. It's like
Well, I
they
remember them
confused
saying
their
that
mind.
Mattel disliked the new design so much they wanted to make that the official new power sword, as opposed to this idea of the Horseman, like Skeletor's got the two halves. We got to create a sword for He-Man, so Man-at-Arms creates this Techno sword, which was I mean, I love what the Horseman done, but I was not a fan of. I mean, that idea was like, eh.
What about the chariot here that Skeletor?
I like the
rides on?
Ram chariot. It's
I like it
it
a lot.
it looks great in shadow because it was shown in the very first episode, but it's in shadow.
Yeah,
and
that
then here-
shadow shot was nice.
Yeah,
the
but
toy,
here,
the toy left a lot to.
yeah, it looks better in animation.
Yeah,
And I will say, like Man-at-Arms fight here, it's like he goes
Yeah,
completely
that's great
back.
anime right there.
I mean, Skeletor shines here. Man-at-Arms looks ridiculous because it's like, dude, you got entirely way too many weapons on your body. Like,
oh, you're talking
Yeah,
about the part
especially
where
in the
he
moment
pops
that's
up and
coming.
everything shoots.
yeah,
he's
yeah,
got
the
little
big
missiles.
it's coming here in a moment. Even
Yeah.
though Skeletor looks amazing with the geysers of fire around him, his arms crossed. I mean, he's a badass in this scene.
It's cool.
And he truly shines.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. There needs to be more moments like this about Skeletor. I mean, you have to take time to make sure that he is the definitive villain on the show.
That's
Right.
part of why I chose the thumbnail that I did for this, because I really like the part when he's
It's a great
grabbed him
moment, yeah.
and rips off all the armor that he's got on.
And like this here, this exposition he's giving the Man at Arms, like, you
He's
dumbass.
doing it all because nobody would want to have sex with him.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's like no glory hole.
No glory holes. There's something about a volcanic setting too.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Here you go. Here's the part. We're getting to the
Yeah,
part that
this
Tyler was
is just
alluding
like-
to. This
yeah,
was
it's
too
like-
much.
Yeah, wait, here it comes, and I'm gonna yell.
It's pretty cartoony
Ah.
looking.
Oh yeah.
Bullshit! It's ridiculous.
I'd have to go back and pause just to see.
But
Maybe
I
I'll
was so
do it.
glad it says to have this Man at Arms get the shit kicked out of him here. Bam!
Yep, there goes all the armor.
Yeah,
By the
that's
way,
badass.
Gary Chalk was a perfect casting choice for Man at Arms.
I agree. I just don't like how Man at Arms often was portrayed. Like he's not likable at all in this series. Him and the Sorcerers or Tila, like they're just they're just all bitching.
Yeah,
Like,
too
they're-
stoic.
Yeah, to an obnoxious point. Like there's nothing fatherly about Man at Arms in this show. There's nothing motherly about the Sorcerers, and well, Tila is amped up to just be the ultimate bitch.
Just nonchalantly too with his magic, just pulling Man at Arms
Yeah.
along.
Yeah,
He's a
it's just-
badass.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I would love to know what minute you guys are on. I think I'm off.
I'm at 1750.
Me too.
Okay.
About the same.
Yeah. I mean, as much as
I
I.
wasn't- Oh, no, go ahead.
Rebecca. Yeah, no. I've talked too damn much. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I wasn't too crazy about Tila's redesign.
See, I was gonna say I actually like her redesign. I just hate how
Really?
she's portrayed. Yeah.
I
What about-
prefer
Get
just,
annoyed.
like,
I get annoyed that Adam is wearing gloves at all times.
Yeah, it's on so unnecessary. Plus, this version of Adam is not anything like how Filmation he was written there, where it's an act. Whereas like he clearly comes off like he's still a bit of a putz, as a
Since we're talking about
Look at this
redesigns,
animation error right here, where he has exposed palms. It's like, why didn't they make the design look like that?
Yeah, I agree.
It works so much
And now it's
better.
back to gloves. Yeah.
that's funny. I never noticed that before.
what are the opinions here of Orko's redesign?
I love
I
the
have no
toy,
Oh,
All right, so you love the toy.
but I
Graham,
mean,
what-
it's kind of flat in the cartoon. Like the toy, it's so much more detailed and vibrant, but in the show, it's flat.
yeah, the show has a huge problem with colors, especially
Yes, it
in the
does.
first season, because they keep using this mud purple for the shadows,
Yes.
and it just doesn't. It looks disgusting. It's really bad looking.
No, I agree with him wholeheartedly on that.
One thing
But
I
then you
want,
see this, like these shots of like the interior of Snake Mountain. This is beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Even this could have been better looking. Just it's not really quite there.
It
It's
is
middle
like
of-
looking at the Giants
like-
here. Like there is some like there's some lacking of color pop. Even though it's meant to be in shadows a lot here, but I do agree. I can't argue that.
Yeah,
One thing-
when it comes to backgrounds, what's missing is that ink layer, outline layer that Filmation had on their designs,
Yes.
because that makes it so much more interesting looking.
It would help it pop more that way. But
Yeah.
also, there's one thing that I wanted to bring up, and I talked about it before we started going.
Just a second, listen to that voice.
I love it.
It's the scientist.
Oh, what? I don't care. Look at him though.
He's a
I
dork.
mean, all right, Rand, what do you think about this version? He's not a, you know what?
Yeah, well,
cut it out.
what do you think of this version of Evil
He
Seed
didn't
there,
see
Rand?
New Adventures, so why are you asking him?
What? Wait, what?
Oh, that's true. He's not.
Wait, Say that again, Deucin.
He's
What'd you
not-
say?
He didn't see New Adventures, so why are you asking him?
I'm not.
Oh, we're not talking about the voice. We're just talking about the look of Evil Seed.
Yeah, the look of Evil Seed.
You talking to me?
Yes.
Oh, what's the question? I was watching the episode.
Looks
I'm
like
sorry.
Rangela.
I know, I'm getting caught up in it too.
I mean, this is a decent first half.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is
Oh,
one
yeah.
of the better episodes of the series. Is this whole, 3-part story, and as we're
Which,
kind of
I love this here at the end. The stern look of He-Man's face, riding in, he knows what he's going to need to do. But I think what I love above all else of that is at the end, they tease what's going to happen on the next episode. And it was very...
This right here feels like an homage to Filmation with
Yeah.
Skeletor's head.
Oh,
Skeletor's
yeah.
head.
yeah, face in the sky.
Ah, here we go. Next time.
Yeah, this is what we saw when it was airing on Cartoon Network. When everyone was screwing around with the lineup when it was going to be aired and all that stuff. God.
Well, the intriguing part is right here.
Yep, you're like, oh, shit.
He looks at the sword. I got something to tell you. Oh, shit. Fade to black. And then we have credits. So that was part 1. We'll give it a couple minutes, let everyone regroup, have part 2 loaded up. I'll
Yeah,
probably
I'm
read
bringing
off
it up
some
here.
trivia that I have from the book. I'll send the link to part 2 to Ren. So he's got a fresh
I
link.
got it.
I want to add. I want to
got
ask Deucin because I've always had a problem with this aspect, and I get everyone else's take too. Because I know Deucin's very particular about the stuff, like I am. The music of MYP, I'm not a fan of it.
It's not as moving
It's like
as Filmation. For
Yeah.
sure.
Literally, the only memorable piece of music is in the outro, and nothing else. It's just
True.
bland.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
It's-
very
it's very-
generic cartoon.
It's very. It's very filler.
Yeah, exactly.
Even so, a
and
lot of
it's
the-
all done
look-
on a computer.
Yeah, and it sounds like it's been done on a computer, and not in a good way. It's even during some of the best battle sequences. Like I know like the music that plays during Underworld when Skeletor takes on Randor and He-Man. That's an okay piece of music. That's just like one that just kind of pops. Okay, that was okay because it fit the mood of like what we're telling here. But for the most part, it's very shitty music. It's just not very good.
Also, it's kind of annoying. Like whenever Skeletor does some nifty magic trick, you always hear this didgeridoo. The Australian instrument.
Yeah.
It's like, why?
Yeah, I know the sound you're talking about too. Yeah. So I don't know. I guess they thought it was edgy or it's evil.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. Maybe it just goes back to throwing shit against the wall and see what sticks, or what the people there are just like, oh yeah. The biggest gripe I honestly have about watching these is Mattel had to have had. There's got to be a better video rip of this. They could have just taken it because it looks bad on YouTube. It does not look good.
Yeah. They wanted you to buy the DVDs, man.
Well, you can't. They don't have any that are like easily accessible.
I think
They're
the
all
last
cost
set
up
was
the
that-
ass now.
Was that I think that Grayskull set they put out. I think MYP was on there.
Mill Creek had put out a complete series set, and it was only like $10 at the time, and now you're looking anywhere between
And
60 to 100 to pick it
It's
up.
the typical, like the first volume is easy to find, but then like second volume or
Really?
whatever's really fucking hard.
I've got the entire series in one set.
Yeah. So you probably got that Mill Creek set when it came out,
Okay.
roughly like 10 years ago or so.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been quite. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
it
Yeah,
was
and-
given to me for my birthday. Yeah,
oh yeah.
Yeah,
So
which was like
I was-
the second. I think it would have been like the second release because BCI had to put out the
Yeah,
first one.
It was the second
Yeah, right.
release because I
Yeah.
actually messaged Mill Creek and I'm like, hey, can you guys, if you have any rights of this at all, any plans to put out a set? It's the 20th anniversary after all. This was last year. And like, yeah, we don't have the rights to do that anymore. So I guess that's all up to NBC Universal. So ball's in their court. And they surely dropped it because they could have capitalized on the nostalgia of people that do remember this from 20 years ago. Figured Doosan was going to pop in with something, but I'm going to read some trivia from this book. from part 1 here. It's actually quite a bit of stuff, so I probably won't read all of it. We'll go ahead and get going on part 2. The Italian translations of the titles of The Beginning and its 3 episodes were unique and descriptive. But for the other multi-part episodes, such as Council of Evil and Rise of the Snake Men, they were more faithfully translated. Where'd Ren go?
I'm
He's
here.
beating up his kid.
Oh, okay. When this episode aired on Cartoon Network, the title was written as The Council of Evil, Part 1. This episode aired on May 10th, 2003 on the Canadian YTV channel, giving an advanced look for some fans who had access to the channel. The episode
I
did
told
not air. Yeah, you were right about that, because I'm assuming that was like a massive deal back then. Like everybody
'cause
probably knew about it as that was. Well, you're going on the org boards.
Yeah, that's how we all found out. Like the synopsis for all the episodes were released on the org. So each week,
But check this out though. So yeah, that aired in May, and you guys didn't get it until October. We didn't get it until October.
Yep.
That's fucking crazy to think about.
It was a crock of shit.
At the beginning, when the evil warriors are walking towards the canyon, Trapjaw has the claw attachment on his arm. Then we hear the sound effect that usually indicates a change in his weapon attachment, but the claw attachment remains unchanged.
Well, it's official. It's the worst cartoon ever. They made a mistake.
It does not pass the Doosan test. During the fight scene between He-Man and the Evil Warriors, there's a small coloring mistake on Merman's face at one point where his entire face is green, like his skin. So there you go.
That's racist. He
Yeah.
did a green face.
Yeah.
We're just adding on to it. I'll read a couple more of the shorter ones because there's like a lot of shit here. This is the only episode where Man-at-Arms refers to Skeletor as Keldor. I thought that was kind of interesting, given how they were trying to kind of toss it in there and push it and make it work in the story. It's not.
I'm just like, oh god, I'm sick of this whole Keldor bullshit.
Same.
Yeah, I don't know what Ren's take is on that, but
Yeah, let's get Ren's take on that.
yeah, see how
Keldor?
the whole
The half brother line that they pulled. I think it was a good way to try to humanize Skeletor or give him an origin. I like that episode where they had the fight. I didn't buy a whole lot of it. That half brother, and we didn't like him, and he's the bigger brother, but we're not gonna make him king because he's half. Whatever.
That's that bullshit Scott Nylick wrote in his bullshit mini comics,
Yeah.
which
I bullshit.
it is, all of it is. I mean, I know, like, people are going, oh, Tyler, we're going to do that in the Vintage Toy Line. Yeah, well, you know what? I don't agree with it, but
That's
I don't.
the thing. Like, what were they planning? Because we don't really know.
Yeah, we don't. I mean, they Elite Northern did say that was the direction they're going. That Skeletor was going to be He-Man's uncle. Like, I'm sorry,
after
but that is,
years and years and years of speculation.
yeah, and that Search for Keldor mini comic, there's not much of a, because everyone says the clue is in there. Like, oh, well, not really. Outside of that, Skeletor's like, they must not figure out the secret of Keldor, and like that's it. Like, well, that's all we know.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, and it's stupid. It's pointless. I mean, do any of us need to have? We don't. What does that to you all? What does that do? To the layer. Like, I feel it works better for Adora and Hordak because Hordak kidnapped her and raised her as his own.
Yeah.
So he almost has like this father-daughter connection, and she should always resent him for that. Whereas, like, we don't need to see that with He-Man and Skeletor.
Yeah.
Plus,
Yeah.
it's not you can't go any cooler than Demon from Another Dimension.
Exactly. Exactly.
I know what Ren's doing over there. He's getting those DVDs in. Smart man.
No,
Don't-
no, I'm putting it on my television because I was trying to. I had double screens on my computer, and
Gotcha.
I could barely hear
All the good
You
things I was
guys
saying. I
in the
appreciate
episode,
you.
so I was actually muting the episodes for quite a bit, and
Yeah.
then trying to.
Yeah.
God, Kevin's still crying, man. What a pussy.
Hey,
Well, you guys want to go ahead and jump into part 2?
Let's do it.
And then after that, we'll take some quick questions. We'll go ahead and we'll wrap it up. So,
And I'm gonna get my ass to bed.
and
I'll
everyone's
be paying
got.
for this again tomorrow because I know we'll end up talking like, oh my
Yeah,
god,
yeah.
why did I stay?
Yeah,
up
just
so
stay
late
awake, man.
talking?
Just never don't go to sleep. Stay awake forever.
Yeah, yeah.
Sleep is for the weak.
Oh god.
What's that,
I
Jason?
Sleep is for the weak.
Exactly. There we
You
go.
calling me weak? Well,
Yeah.
I'm talking to someone who's up at 3:30 in the morning in his time. Like, Jesus
Hey,
Christ.
man, I sleep a good 5.5, 6 hours every night, and I'm good. I'm
No,
good.
I got to have a good solid 7 to 8 hours.
Well,
I mean, I got to be able to have my He-Man workouts, man. I can't just operate on like 2 hours of sleep, man.
you're just gonna have to drink more energy drinks.
Oh,
This
yeah.
podcast sponsored by C4
But
Energy
rain,
Drinks.
rain and C4 energy drinks, yeah.
All right. Well, if everyone's got Council of Evil Part 2 loaded up, we will do
I
the
have it.
countdown. You don't have it? What?
I have it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I thought you said you don't have it. Ren, are you good to go?
I'm ready.
All right,
Jason?
man. He's always ready.
Okay,
Ready.
yeah, what am I talking
He's like
about?
Matt
He's already
Cardona.
crying, so.
He's always like,
Yeah, he's
I'm
been crying through
ahead
this
of
whole
us.
thing.
yeah.
All right.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, action.
By the way, in this episode, there are a few points where they should have had Cringer talk because it would have been great character moments.
Mm-hmm. Which I thought was a disservice to the character that he didn't talk instead of just having these kind of like little cat noises that he would make.
Yeah.
You know? It's
Yeah,
just
it
not
just-
not good.
It feels off. Like they use ordinary house cat sounds for
It's weird.
Yeah.
Cringer, and he's a
Weird.
tiger. And also, I'm annoyed how they use those lion roars for Beastman. Like just
Oh yeah,
use the
yeah.
voice actor. Like when John Irving did all those snarls for Beastman.
Yeah, like
It
oh
sounded
yeah,
so
yeah.
cool.
Oh, it was
But
awesome.
this is so just cheap and lame, and lazy.
And Rayman's
Same
voice
with-
always sounds like he's trying to pass a big shit. He was like, "Oh God, Ram!" You know, it's just, dude, take it down a
But some
notch,
of the
man.
some of the voice actors is like awful. So I'm just. I
How
don't-
would
Oh,
you sound?
God.
How would you sound with chronic constipation?
Exactly.
Yeah, just look
That
at
was their
Rayman
direction?
NYP. Yeah. I feel like
Legion
like
of Doom Part 2.
Yeah. I do like the fight with He-Man and the Giants here. Even though I feel like they made the Giants entirely way too big in scale to He-Man though.
I don't know. It feels in line with the Powers of Grayskull version of the Giants.
I mean I guess well yeah, I guess so. Because I feel like the scale sometimes would fluctuate a little bit, but maybe I'm just not remembering things correctly there. But I guess so. I guess yeah, I guess that would be right. I'll shut up.
Also, if this was Revelation, they would have killed He-Man.
Yeah.
Or
And
have
Ram would be
He-Man,
like,
or
"It's
worse,
okay."
have He-Man kill somebody else. It's not worse, but it's
Got
character
Cyclone
assassination rather than actually killing off a character.
Look at shirtless Stratus. Joe would
know.
have loved this scene.
Yeah.
Yeah,
know.
Joe's at home beating off right now to it.
Yeah. Somewhere his nipples are very, very hard.
Yep, he's taking liquid butter and rubbing them all over him.
Yeah.
Oh yes, Stratus, yeah.
No, sorry, Ren. I had you muted because I think the audio on your TV's coming.
Oh, you
through.
can hear my TV.
Well, just
Yeah.
a little bit.
No
I think
worries.
I could.
I'll tell you what, I'll mute myself until I'm ready to talk.
All right. I would say just like if you're going to talk, maybe just mute the TV and then unmute yourself and then talk. That way we'll just bounce back and forth between that. Because you can still see what's going on. You just won't be able to hear it for when you're talking, I guess.
I do hate on Mechanic seems to just be made like the weakest link of the Heroic Warriors because I'm not going to call them Masters because I hate that damn title.
But his desperate, like, help me, that like that.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I do enjoy that.
See, here it makes sense to be thrown around and like use his full force.
Yeah. I
whereas
like
the other
that.
characters it didn't.
It's strictly because he's going against giants. That it
Yeah,
makes more
because
sense.
he's
Yes,
going
or
with
like,
people
yeah.
who are as strong as him.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, and also they understand that humans supposed to be supercharged, super powerful. Unlike, say, Netflix She-Ra, where She-Ra is scratched by a 14-year-old girl.
Oh God,
Yeah, we won't get
I
into
blocked
that
that
now.
out.
We blocked
But I
that.
appreciate any time any of you all want to slam that piece of shit. So
Well,
I
yeah,
thank you.
it's cool to take pot shots at it. I don't want to linger on it too long though.
No, of course not. We're watching quality here.
Also, the animation here is much better than anything in Revelation.
That's true.
Yes.
Mhm.
But I often feel like Mechanic is like still like they still would treat him as if like he's fodder. Like, why is Mechanic the one guy that's like used as bait? It's almost like they're taking shots at the character. Much like how Mechanic's lament is like, oh, why stretch my neck? I'm not important. Like, I hate storylines
Yeah,
like
people
that.
always give Mechanic like shit.
Yeah, but still, even with that treatment, it's so much more dignified than what we see in Revelation.
Well, I mean, this is like masterpiece theater compared to that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was Mechanic in Revelation?
I
if
don't-
he was probably killed.
I don't
Yeah.
remember.
He
in
died
the
with-
background.
Oh, God, never
I don't
forget
know,
him.
I
Yeah,
really
wouldn't-
like to
I
try
wouldn't
and
doubt he was
forget.
killed in Revelation.
Yeah, that's this whole notion of thing you have to kill off an established character is like,
But it's a reboot. You have
shock
to make it
value.
dark and gritty. You can't
I like this
make
effect.
it exactly like Filmation.
Yeah,
Kill them after
Talking
you
about
make
some dumbass
kill them
shit in
after
our
you
comics.
mock the shit out of them.
I
They
did
did-
like this reveal of Evil Seed.
They made Evil Seed really strong on.
Scientist.
Oh man, get the hell out of here! God, I'm so glad you're here, Jason, so I can tell you how wrong you are.
You're wrong.
It's a special having disagreements with both Ren and Deuce in the same
I
episode.
know.
This is truly a special episode.
What a
here, people.
night! Who would have thought? Huh?
I know.
You're wrong. I
It's a
love it.
handicap match, and I'm still winning. It's awesome. I love it.
Sometimes we have to give handicapped people the benefit of the doubt, so we'll let you think you win.
Well, I don't mind giving the charity cases.
It's
It's
good
still
that you're a charity
sunset.
case.
I do enjoy how Man at Arms was able to rig some of Roboto to put out a transmission to try to attempt to reach.
I
him.
mean, it's plausible. Yeah, because even Filmation sometimes would kind of like push it a bit too far with like the rules and the boundaries that are kind of set up as like okay,
all right. Well, I mean, you would have to sort of do something. What would you kind of do in its place if you had the opportunity?
I mean right there. I mean, it makes sense, but it's also like I don't know. I kind of really feel like it's all it does is set up Orko to go and seek, search for Adam, and that's how he ends up finding the power sword. Even though we never actually see him get the power sword, it's just kind of a brief way of kind of like, okay, this is how Orko would find out what's going on to set that up for the last stand.
And there goes that useless Mechanic right into the pit.
Pisses me
And
off.
still sunset.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's still sunset at the Royal
piss
Palace.
guy
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
I'm
grandma.
never gonna not see that now.
I am forever seeing that now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Things I've
I'm
never
not-
noticed before. Now I'm like, why is it the high sunset now? Now it's gonna drive me crazy. To be honest, I do not go back and rewatch this enough. It's not.
I don't either. It doesn't resonate with me as
If
well.
I want to go rewatch He-Man, I will always go to Filmation because to me, Filmation is the definitive He-Man for me.
The storytelling is
The storytelling,
the
the
best.
characters, the designs, everything
Music.
is at its
Yeah,
best.
the music. God, the music.
The music.
And
I
the
have just the
sound
music
effects.
downloaded and I listen to it while I'm working on stuff.
Yeah, I even bought a bunch off of iTunes a long time ago, so I can play them on my phone. While
I'm a
I'm
thief and I
driving or at
steal
the
off
gym,
YouTube.
or
I didn't know you
YouTube
could
as
buy
well.
it. I didn't know that you could buy it off of iTunes.
Yeah, a long time. They're both He-Man and She-Ra up, so I bought like a bunch of episodes.
Oh,
Just
cool.
that was before YouTube had up.
Oh, I thought you meant the music, because I have
no,
just
the
the
actual
music from
episodes.
YouTube like downloaded.
Oh yeah, because I know James and Deucen. Did you help with that uploading a lot of the Shuki Levy soundtrack? or was that all James
Yeah,
doing
I
that?
extracted it and
Yeah.
assembled it all.
Oh God, it sounded. There were certain videos that you guys uploaded, was just it was phenomenal to listen to those, especially the
I just
He-Man
love
to the
listening.
Rescue. I
Good.
love that piece of
Really.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a queue that wasn't uploaded, like the Secret of the Sword remake of one of the queues
Oh
that
man.
James needs
I'm
to
gonna do that.
upload.
Oh. I definitely like to see how Rim would draw Cobra Khan, because I don't think Cobra Khan gets used enough, and he's definitely a fan favorite character, but I don't think I've seen him illustrated nowhere near enough. I'd like to see what Rim would do with like a Filmation style Cobra Khan.
I don't know if I've ever drawn a Cobra Khan for anyone.
That was something I had an idea, because I really wanted you to draw, like I had like another Evil Warrior idea, like I wanted to use like Eva Webster and Cobra Khan in an illustration. I was like, I really wanted to see them drawn together, like as partners, because I just like that idea of those two tag teaming from Filmation.
Yeah.
And
I don't like Skeletor's teeth.
You don't like his teeth, like
His
the
teeth.
fangs.
Is not the flat teeth, they bother me. I know it's for the animation itself, but it just bothers me is the way his teeth.
How do these guys go to toilet when imprisoned?
It's a shit in a bucket.
Yeah, you just pick a corner.
Yeah, but Evelyn can't move.
Yeah, she can be pissing her pants and shitting herself.
Again, stuff I
Or-
never thought about.
I know. I guess you can use magic to make it evaporate from her panties or something.
I would like to imagine they're giving them bathroom breaks. I would hope so.
Now it's just
Well,
like Brody and Mallrats are just asking too
yeah,
many questions.
yeah. Well, but it's kind of fun to ask those kinds of questions, you know. Like
They have
'cause
bathrooms
Whip-
that come out of the wall, I'm certain, and then kind of go back in.
yeah.
They have
Or
a
imagine when
button.
Evil Lynn's in the same style with Whiplash. Imagine when he takes a big shit in front of Evil Lynn. You know, it's like a big alligator taking a big shit. She's stuck and she can't move. She's got to sit there and smell it. She can't cover her nose or anything, but she's got it worse. That's funny.
This is a clever use of the
It
alter
is.
ego.
The powers, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a very well written piece.
Mhm.
And a plausible excuse to like not have him turn back into He-Man again.
Right here, you could have had Cringer talk.
Yeah. It kind of makes him kind of useless at times, Cringer. Like just because
Exactly.
he doesn't it doesn't invoke any kind of emotion, or, you know, convey like, you know, Adam, I think this is a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea. Like why?
Yeah, it doesn't have as much connection as they did in Filmation.
No, and because of that constant friendship that those 2 had in Filmation, because they could talk, or even the times like Cringer would like speak up and be more brazen.
Another moment right here.
Yeah, he could have said something.
Yeah, I agree with that, but Cringer also does get time to shine in this episode too, without speaking.
But it's
Yeah,
Yeah,
still
but that would have been
could've
better
been-
if he could have talked though, and like
yeah.
Yes,
could have gotten an understanding of it.
especially when he saves Adam.
It means a lot more too, because him not being able to talk, it doesn't give him any kind of emotional connection. You know, because Cringer could
Exactly.
talk. You know,
Yeah,
he shares his thoughts, his fears, his concerns, and right now he's just staring and makes kitty cat noises. It's bullshit.
it makes him more of like an animal than like a friend. Kind of
Yeah,
thing.
exact. Good point. Yeah, that's a great way of looking at it.
Very well said.
Also,
Yeah.
why does Webster's web come out of his back?
I don't know. It doesn't make
They
any
didn't
sense
want to do
to
it out
me.
of his butt.
And he dies from eating too many
Yeah.
damn eggs. That's bullshit too. Web of Evil. What a shitty episode that was.
That was very anime.
Yeah.
Feel his expression there.
Nobody notices that the sword is the same.
I mean, I get it's like it's like in Filmation, like, you know, when Adora or Adam pull out the
Yeah.
power sword, like people, it's like that. It's like Clark Kent and Superman. Like it's that,
Like
that
that.
you have to, yeah.
They
Which
go
people,
for the-
Magic.
yeah. Which I always buy into. I love that simplicity about dual identities in the comic book and this kind of mythology. And I don't need to have drastic changes to cover up, why people can't figure things out. Because if that's what you're more worried about, then you're missing the point.
Plus, people need to realize that just because we know, the characters don't have to know.
Exactly. Yeah, because
Like,
it's meant for us just to know.
Like, when it comes to Superman, look at the 1970s movie with Christopher Reeve. You get how that works.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And it's done so beautifully that you don't really question the simplicity. Like, why can't you notice who it is just because he's wearing glasses? Like,
Yeah.
I do enjoy this. You
yeah.
For a second, the power sword's gone. I wish they wouldn't have had this scene here where Man at Arms sees it falling as well. I would have liked to have left it. I know you do it for the story purpose, but I think if you cut this part right here, just make him like.
Well, and honestly, because
viewers
Orko's the
think
one
it's
that
over.
finds it, we don't see any other interaction between Man at Arms and Orko. So it clearly could have just been Orko is looking around trying to find Adam and sees the power sword and puts it away.
I enjoy this piece too, where he's on the ledge and the giant's punching through
Yeah.
the holes in there.
This reminds me actually of the Ewok movie, the first one.
Oh, the first one,
Mm-hmm.
which I was not a fan of when I saw it as a kid. I like
It
the second one
was-
better.
Me too. Way more scary villains.
Yeah, I agree. I love the second one to death.
Mm-hmm.
I still because I love Teak.
It's a
My whole
solid
family loves
fantasy
Teak.
movie.
Yeah, it's
Really.
fun.
And
like
Rebecca's saying, you don't want the webs coming out of his ass.
Yeah.
So that's probably why they changed it to it coming out of his back. Can't do that in kid shows, man.
Does everyone alright
Another
with the
moment where
arachnid?
Kenja could talk.
Yep.
I mean,
I was
I'm
gonna
with you on that. I'm saying like it's just cool to actually see Cringer get a moment
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that
it
to
is.
do
That is a
something
good
cool.
move.
It would have been more effective if he could.
If he could talk, yeah.
Yeah.
I am sick of the notion because I feel like Evelyn's used a lot for this need to like she's set up to portray Skeletor, and it just feels like it's done way too many times in the series. That even though Evelyn had her own thoughts of ambition and taking over and doing her own thing of formation, she never quite follows through with it because in the end, she's always going to side with Skeletor. Whereas here, it's like she does these, I mean, it's cool that she, like in The Price of Deceit, like they do go after her for turning on them, but then she goes back and does it again, later on in season 2. And it's such like an overused plot device, and Scott and Alec used it in his bios too. Like, damn it, man, people stop using her as a reason to unleash stuff.
At
Yeah.
very least, she's not misunderstood.
Yeah.
you go.
But,
She's just lonely. Come on.
Yeah. It's, come on, Tyler, have some.
I
sympathy,
guess
all right?
perhaps if
She
Dean
got
Stefani
betrayed
had
by an
Skeletor,
ex-lover, and she's just misunderstood. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
guess,
what if she destroyed heaven?
Yeah. Who cared?
if this Skeletor had just fucked her, like in Revelation, things would be all right.
She just needs to get laid.
Yeah. So Cobra Khan and Rattler here to have a 3-way with her.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah.
No. With Tila.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, we can't be
Another
having any
moment.
of that. Can't be having any of that interspecies erotica in our kids' cartoons.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because I'm sure some fucked up guy's going to do some sort of bullshit, cartoon, porno images, which is fucking stupid anyway. Seeing that silly shit. I remember all the camera across some like weird like
You can't
Beauty and the
escape it,
Beast
but
shit.
dude, I'll tell you what. After the Netflix Shira came out, that was everywhere.
Well,
The people got on like nerds before that, making like pornographic images of the original stuff. That's nothing compared to like what people are doing for the new stuff.
It's crazy. It was really crazy. Right as that show was going on. You're right.
Mhm.
You
I'm
couldn't
glad
get
I
away
didn't
from
see
it.
I
any of
couldn't
that.
Google Shira without seeing,
Yeah.
Catradora doing something nasty, and I'm
Yeah.
like, they look.
Especially when
Yeah, what's
considering that
weird
the
is they
characters
look
are
young
minors.
in that show.
Yeah.
Like the originals looked like adults at least. So it's
They
just
are
more
adults,
perverted
young
because
adults, but they're still adults.
yeah,
Whereas
if
the
they,
new
they
ones are
adults.
minors.
Exactly.
And they're all ugly too. A bunch of ugly girls on that show. God. It makes me think of how my dad thought the kids on Rugrats were all ugly babies.
They
They
were.
were.
He's like, that boy Tommy, his head looks like a rock.
Yeah, I don't buy into the idea that like all babies are pretty. There are ugly looking babies.
I
mean,
have
I'm
seen some
sorry,
ugly looking. Yeah,
but it's
there
true.
are. Yeah.
People just
Every
don't want-
baby on the planet is hideous and looks like an alien autopsy.
When they first come out, yeah.
Is that what you thought about your son all those years ago?
Hell yeah.
He let him know too.
He's just like holding
You're
his son. He's
fucking
like,
ugly.
man, you're ugly as hell.
Dude,
And then he smacks his son there for being
he
so
was
ugly.
he was hit. Well, my kid was a preemie. So he was in that little box for a couple of weeks.
Oh.
But when he came out, I would mess with his lips and make him cry.
And I'm sure Ren's letting out that great Ren laugh that he does when he's playing with his kid's lips, making him cry.
How about the balls on Marzo to take a shot?
Which I can appreciate that because I do. That was one thing I truly loved about this was the upgraded Marzo because I
Oh yeah, he
introduced
got
him
the
probably
best
this.
redesign.
Yeah, I hated his design and filmation. I just
I
hated
didn't
it.
hate it. I like this one better.
I like Filmation version better.
Mm.
I don't see a Shakespearean actor or a Shakespearean look as a threat, whereas this one looks much more imposing.
Well, he's not supposed to be a threat toward the adults. He was after kids. He was a creep.
Yeah, it's kind
Still.
of that's kind of the whole point, you know. If you look non-threatening, it makes it easier to do.
Well,
do
I mean,
what
I
you do.
agree.
This
Good
Grayskull didn't look
point,
nearly as good as Filmations. I didn't.
point
Like.
taken.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
but
Grayskull was much better looking in the comics.
Mm.
Yeah.
What was better than the comics, Deuce? I didn't catch you.
The
Grayskull.
Grayskull.
Oh,
This
yeah.
Grayskull.
Yeah, Emiliano drew it a lot better than this. Is a very stale illustration of Grayskull. It lacks in color, texture,
Depth.
it's
Yeah.
depth. It's
Just
not
a mundane
imposing.
castle.
Yeah.
It
yeah.
is. It's very forgettable.
Where like the Filmation ones burn into your brain.
I mean, you look into the interiors of the
Sinister
Grayskull's throne room, and you see like planets and these various kind of odd organic pillars coming up in the ground. Like, oh my god! Like just watching the Greatest Adventures of All the other night, the opening sequence, just looking how
Mhm.
beautiful that throne room is where the sorcerers is at. It's unbelievable.
It
Mhm.
perfectly illustrates that Castle Grayskull is a place of mystery and wonder.
And power. Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the
Yes.
way it should be. And you know what? It's like watching the first Alien. You're seeing all this stuff. What does that mean? What is that? No explanation, but it's beautiful and encourage you to imagine and think.
Yeah, fuel
Let's-
for imagination, unlike Revelation Grayskull, which looks like an empty church.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
Let's take a moment here to
Mr. D.I.
appreciate the
Grayskull.
end of this episode where Adam is like, "Hey, the masters are here," and no, they're not. I really like this a lot because we know as the viewer what's gonna happen, but this is just badass. Like everybody
That
is
was
descending
cool.
upon
But
Adam
look,
in this moment.
look, Adam should have known. What? Is he retarded?
Well, there that
Is
is.
he? We'll ask our expert on that. John, is Adam simple here or what?
But I think it's cool to see it in like that and cliffhanger. Now,
Yeah.
had the new season not started in the U.S. the following week, and you had to wait for this, holy
Had
shit!
to wait till
man.
October to all summer and into the fall to see what the hell was going to happen.
That would have been great.
Yeah, but no, back in the day we had to wait a week, so we had to wait till the next Saturday night to see how this was going to.
But the thing
go
is,
down.
too, at this point, I was already checked out of that. I was along the ride with Tyler for a little bit there at the beginning when it was new and came out, but after that, I bowed out. I would say pretty quickly because the episodes just at the start, aside from the first three, after that, I kind of lost interest in it.
Well,
It
there were some
wasn't
turds. There
engaging.
were some big, stinky, fat turds.
Big, smells bad.
Yeah, like the
That too.
deep end. What a piece of shit that was. I'm going to use the bathroom. Speaking of a piece of shit.
All right. Well, Tyler's gonna go take a dump. Ren, what'd you think of those episodes?
I liked them. I don't.
You seemed really into it. You're kind of there, just like watching it. the whole
Dude.
time.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
I was like really into
So-
it. So.
I'll lay you in on a huge secret, man. Here lately, my last 5 or 6 years or so of any type of fandom, even past that, I suppose. I am simply, unless it's just like complete garbage.
Mhm.
I'm just happy that they're making these type of properties for us. I'm really happy to be able to see things that I'm a fan of, even like He-Man wise. Like I couldn't get into She-Ra. I tried like the first season.
That's
I was like,
understandable though. That's hard. That was tough.
Yeah, it
not
was far
great.
too removed from the original, but I really just try to enjoy the things. Like even if it's not good, I'll say, okay, well, I'm just gonna watch it as an adventure show.
I'm
and
the
not
same
a
way.
He-Man show.
I don't get so wrapped up anymore in being angry about stuff most of the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, it's there, whatever, it's done. I can have an opinion on it, sure, but I'm not. It's not going to affect the day to day of my life. I'm not going to sit there and be like, God damn it, why did they do this? Because it's already done. You know, you can't go back and change it. It's just there. It exists now. It's like the staying power of it is always the main question that we always talk about. For a lot of people, I think Revelation's already come and gone. I think most of
Mhm.
us
For the
can agree on that. Like
people.
it didn't have a lasting impact on anybody. But it's like you said, you know, you watch it and if it's not that good, I'm just like, all right, you know what? It sucked. I'm moving on with my life in this
Yeah.
regard.
Yeah,
I don't need to worry about it anymore.
Which I wish people would do with Velma right now
Oh,
instead
yeah.
of constantly making video after video after video why it
You know,
sucks. It's like we get
it's-
it, move on.
Yes.
Exactly. I'm like, it's all right to vent and like, but to carry on and to hold on to that and just like
Yeah.
make a. I don't know how people can talk about something that much that they don't like.
Yeah.
Well, that's
I
the thing. A lot
remember-
of people aren't creative. A lot of people don't have
Mm-hmm.
a creative mind of their own, so they stick with what is original, right? Like we've seen the same Scooby-Doo for years, and they were doing a movie every year for a while, and they're all the same, and nobody cared, nobody watched them. Let's be real about it. Nobody
Yeah.
fucking watched them
Yeah, you're
until all of a sudden, oh, Velma is darker and she likes girls. Who really cares? Like, who really fucking paid attention?
And wasn't
the
that
last
really just
20
based on a
years to
joke with
Scooby-Doo?
fans too?
Huh?
Wasn't that really just kind of a based on joke on fans? Like people were saying like Thelma was gay.
Probably. I have no idea. I'll tell you what. If Velma's gay, I don't give a fuck because
Yeah, I
I
don't
love
either.
Velma.
I don't either, but they also say like Peppermint Patty and Marcy were gay is like a joke about Peanuts characters, but
Yeah.
it's like they're telling a story. Their sexual orientation should have nothing to do with the story they're telling.
It should
here.
have nothing to do with it.
And
Yeah.
even
I
if
mean,
even if it did, it doesn't at the same
It
time.
doesn't.
If she
If you-
drops her glasses one time and says Jinkies, then she's done her job.
That's the character. But like
Yeah.
what she does in the bedroom, like okay, if you think she's gay, okay, more power to you. But
Right.
it should not affect the story they're trying to
It
tell.
shouldn't matter. Yeah,
It shouldn't matter.
I mean,
There's people who just hate. There are some people who are just bigots, and unfortunately, their voices get mixed in with the people with valid criticisms for stuff.
Yeah.
Because I saw that
They're-
with the
well,
Willow
they're mixed in,
show.
they're
I'm sorry to
overshadowed.
bring that up, but like people, there were hate videos just because there's two lesbians in the Willow show, and I'm like, that is the least offensive thing in that show because the
Yeah.
writing is so fucking offensive.
Like that's what they're bothered
there's-
about is two lesbians on the show.
well,
I'm like,
well,
that
you-
wasn't a problem. The problem was the writing.
Yeah,
But you also-
just like they were fixating on the rumor that Tila might be a lesbian in Revelation, and how did that turn out?
It's already fucked.
That
Who
wasn't
cares?
real at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it goes back to the whole thing that the hate videos, all right, I think the general consensus is most people have a tendency that's like, oh, they really, really dislike that. And if someone's really, really likes it, like you want to gravitate more towards the hate because you just, I guess that's just who we are as
It's
humans.
louder.
But
It's
also,
just,
yeah,
it's annoying though.
it's louder and it just sticks
It
out
gets
more because
clicks.
they're like,
It gets clicks too because even people who hate it will be like, "Look at this asshole dissing Brie Larson." You know,
it's so
It gets monotonous.
yeah,
it does.
it's old. That's
And
why
it's taking away from the valid criticisms that people have, and like, it's blending in their voices together, and it's creating this negative thing that people can throw you in, and you're like,
but
it's
I guess at the same time, in a roundabout way, some people would watch the show, and they have before and have said as such that they think that we are too negative sometimes or all the time or whatever. And I'm like, no, it's not that
I
we're
am.
negative. Well, no, not really. I mean, it's just I would
we're
like
being
to,
honest though, and we're not we have valid criticisms for it. It's not because
well, we're also not just in your face like, oh, you got
not
But
every
it
video
is-
is about that. Yeah.
Those who say that they're the opposite extreme of those who peddle for trash.
Mm.
I mean,
Yeah.
these guys, they're the opposite extreme of those who make constant hate videos of
Yeah.
look at this trash, look at that trash.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's just like
Yeah.
say you don't like it and then move on with your life. Pretty simple.
Yeah,
I mean,
hell,
you take
People only thrive nowadays in how many people they can get to agree with them.
true.
The problem
Mhm.
is, if you don't get enough likes or you don't get enough support or whatever from people who like you, you just keep going until you get it. If you have an opinion, state it. No problem. The one thing I really, really have always loved about your show is that you have your opinions, whether I agree with them or not. You have your opinions, and you stick with those opinions. Or someone says something, you're like, okay, I can understand that, but you don't harp on strictly negative things, and you don't trash things simply to trash them, and carry on for the duration of however long you guys been on here, simply trashing things just to trash them.
No,
And that's not fun to do that anyway. It's
isn't. That wasn't fun doing the Revelation review because I'm like, I don't want to talk about this. I didn't like it.
yeah,
I don't want to talk about it.
yeah.
But that's people live for that.
I
People
know.
absolutely
Mhm.
live to
Yeah.
go online and find people that disagree with them, and go in and try to ruin their day. Try to bring down their opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And Ren, that is why we will never have 20,000 subscribers.
yeah.
Listen,
We have
They
we
don't have
what-
like
quality
sensational
over
headline.
quantity.
Did you
every
Oh, yeah.
day.
I don't care about any of that shit. Like I said before,
Yeah.
I just like hanging out with my friends, talking and having some laughs, and clearly making other people laugh too. Because I get messages all the time and see it in the chat of people are just like, "Yeah, that made my day. You guys are funny." And I'm like, "All right, cool. We're not."
I take
I-
pride in that
Yeah.
that people enjoy, like they laugh at the things we say and do on here, because I want this to be as entertaining as possible, even when we're trying to be silly or we're trying to make a valid point, because we're passionate about it, because we're doing this
It's
stuff for free, people. It's
It's
not
going to be
here-
real.
Yeah, it's going to
gonna
be
be
as
real.
authentic as possible. Like,
Yeah.
even though I have fun being a jerk on here, but it's I'm
In the
very
best
passionate.
possible way. Like I
Yeah.
said, the beginning of the show was, I think, encapsulates what we're all about.
Yeah,
We can have fun. We can have disagreements, and then it leads into a very in-depth discussion.
and you know what?
Yeah,
We all had
but
fun.
Yeah,
And
we're
then
smarter than we look.
Yeah, and then it's back to jokes about glory holes and Ren beating up his son.
Hey,
and
never
him,
know what you're gonna get.
him being fucking old.
Fucking terrible.
Here's a question from Lacey Dean, and I don't know if anyone here has watched it. I myself personally have not watched it yet, but I might, because I did play the game. I just finished episode 4 of The Last of Us. It's so good. What are your thoughts? Do you like the show?
I
Is it
wanna
anything-
The guy
watch
at
it.
work that's been asking me about watching that, and I didn't even know what it was. I
Yeah,
don't play
Tyler's
modern,
out of the loop with like
I don't
modern
play
video
modern
games. So
Yeah.
I mean,
I
maybe
want to watch it. I have not yet. I like to let the episodes kind of build up before I watch it all because
that's fair
I don't
enough.
like
I mean,
waiting.
I looked at that first episode length, and it's like an hour and
Oh, maybe I won't wait
40, 50 some minutes. I'm like, holy shit, okay. I'll have to find
Yeah,
the time to sit
I
down
don't
and
play
watch.
video games, so I've heard of the game. I've heard of the show. I've never watched it. I haven't watched it, rather.
What's funny is I've never played the video game either, but my thing is I don't like that style of game where I don't like my video game to be a movie. I don't like that.
Yeah, I think
Click
it's
a
so
couple
lame
buttons
too.
and to get to the next cutscene. But now that it's a TV show, I'm interested in it.
The biggest thing the biggest problem I do have with video games, for as awesome as stuff like The Last of Us and the new God of War games are, because they look amazing.
Yeah,
But it's like you said,
it looks like a good story, but
but it's too much of not enough gameplay and too much cinematic. And I'm like, you
Mhm.
just get me. I want to play
Exactly.
I want to play the fucking game. I don't. If
give
I
me a
want
movie or a video game.
yeah, if I
don't
want
try
to
mix
watch
them.
I'll just watch a movie. So
I like Dragon Slayer as a cartoon, but not as a game.
yeah, I need to give it a shot. This is gonna get Doosan
Thank
hot.
you, Brian.
This is gonna get Doosan hot.
Oh.
We'll talk about it because we don't shy away from this kind of thing. Thoughts on the Tila fan film audition making the rounds on YouTube? Doosan, I'm gonna say this. Please try to be. Don't go too far on that. I'll give you a little warning. Like, we're real and we're honest, but I just be careful with how you phrase things and say things. Go ahead.
I think it comes from a place of opportunism that the whole thing just exists just so this guy's friend gets pushed to get the role and then he gets to play her manager. Like I don't get a sense. I don't get the feel that any of these people are fans. That they just want to. That they just heard that the movie is in the making and just want to exploit that, to capitalize on that.
I
I think
haven't.
it's obvious that the script wasn't done by people that know the mythology.
It never
Because
is.
Especially like
The,
when you
the
look at
lady
there's a-
Emily, she's contacted me before. She's very sweet, and she's the only thing I like about it. I'm like, she looks great in the costume. She's good at the acting and everything. So I'm like, she's what I liked about it. The only
I
thing about
haven't
it.
seen anything on it. I'm not gonna.
I'm not interested in
I'm
watching
not gonna
it.
watch it, but
Nope. I'm
No,
not.
Plus,
you wouldn't like it.
Plus, in the comments at the top of the comments, there's like a manifesto of their intentions, and it's like they bring up how it's inspired by Jackie Chan's movies. It's like,
Yeah,
how is Masters of the Universe anything like his movies?
yeah.
Like crime. I automatically think Crime Story and The Return of Orgo's Uncle. Like, yeah, I get the connection there.
Mm.
Anyway.
It was just made as an audition for Emily.
Yeah, exactly.
Which all right, that's one way to do that, I suppose. But
Yeah. You can tell the story was secondary, and that they didn't really know the mythos.
I'm just sick and tired of nobody, and I just wish I had the money to do it. Just like I'm just so sick and tired of like people making attempts to do something about He-Man, and they got no business working on it. Like, I don't want to sit there and say people don't have the right to do what they want, but but that's always the stuff that always comes to the forefront. Is people who are not passionate fans about this property are the ones who are getting promoted. Their takes, their videos are all getting showcased, and it's like I can tell none of these people are that enthusiastic about this property. I don't get it. I don't get it at all, and it's just it's disheartening to see the lack of passion, and it's just like, okay, well, move on to the next thing.
It's a lot of people just looking for the next cash grab and
Yeah.
trying to.
Well, because that's how you comment on what's hot. That's how you get the views. That's how you get the subs. But you got to have a personality to go along with that. And some of these
and
people have
passion
that
for
in
the product.
spades.
to go
I know I see a
along.
lot of people who got tons of subs, but man, they got the personality of an ice cube. And it's like people can't wait to see what this ice cube is going to say this week.
It happens. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
it's all the algorithms
But it's
and whatever.
infuriating. That's
Well,
why you
I
see
mean,
it so-
shit, man. That's why we got our own little corner
Well,
over
you know
here,
what? But it's
carving
good
out our
because
own
you know
little
what?
space.
We put in our time. We have a substantial amount of subscribers. It's small in the grand scheme of things, but you know what? I'm not complaining about it. We have grown as a family on this podcast. We got a lot of great people.
It's like
who
the
are-
Fast and Furious movies, man. It's we're
No,
family.
now
We're
you damn it, you
family.
ruined it.
Family.
You can Tyler, you can be Tyrese. You can be Tyrese, and then Ren could be Vin Diesel.
Family.
Yeah.
Family.
You know, I've not
God.
seen any. Only one I've seen was the first one back when I was a
No,
kid,
see,
and I was
really?
like, yep.
You-
No.
Watch Fast Five. I think you'll like it.
Me and my sister went to go see it when we were really, really, really young, and we were
That
just
shit.
like,
The first
"Let's
one's
do
so
it."
fucking dated. It's like we're gonna steal DVD players.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll hold up.
That
Yeah.
was the
that'll-
first and last time I saw anything Fast and Furious.
What?
I'll
Just
tell you
copy
what, they're-
Point Break.
Watch Fast Five.
They're-
Fast Five's
They're
good.
fucking
I think-
amazing.
I don't think
yeah,
I'll like
Fast,
it.
Fast
I
Five's good.
love
Yeah,
them.
Rebecca.
I don't think I'll like it.
I'll
Alright,
send you some.
you know
I'll
what?
watch Willow for
recommendations.
the million.
Coming next week, a Fast and Furious retrospective with Nathan Kennedy and Ren McKenzie. You guys can
I've
stay.
got,
I'd
Yeah.
rather
I've
watch
got
that
all of them
Rooster
except
movie.
for the very last one on DVD. I love
I'd
it.
rather watch that Rooster movie.
The
Rocket
Rooster
Doodle?
movie.
Rebecca would rather watch
Rocket
that
Cock
cock
or
movie.
whatever
Yeah, you know what?
The
Me,
movie
Deuce, and
Cocky.
Rebecca will do a watch along
The
with
Cocky.
Rocket Dude. You guys can talk about the fucking Fast Five.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
well, have-
We'll
all right.
we'll see who gets more subscribers.
All right, you know what? The line is drawn. The Sunday Night Wars have
Yeah.
begun.
All
right.
Yeah, the line in
Simple,
the
the
sand.
Simple Tricks and Nonsense channel will have the fucking cockadoodle thing, and then Ren and
Yeah.
I will be on here talking about Vin Diesel. All
Yeah.
right, that's what we'll do.
Family.
I'll wear my lowest cut shirt and like put it in the thumbnail, like get the most views.
That's
That-
exactly
Sean,
what we get.
yeah, there
People
you
would
go.
come in like, what are they talking about? Oh my God, you see the boobage.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The boobage.
And it doesn't even put Rockadoodle in there. It's
Be
just
like one of those toy reviewers.
Rebecca
where-
talks about cock.
Cock,
And they're like,
yeah.
I gotta see
There you go.
this.
That's the title.
and then the fucking cartoon pops up like, son of a bitch,
Yeah.
got me.
And then they'll get pissed, and it'll be like when Tony Schiavone was like, "Oh, the guy that wrestled here is Cactus Jack's gonna win their world title. Oh, that'll put
I'll
butts in the
put
seats."
butts in the
And then
seats.
everyone's gonna switch over and watch Ren and I give this great retrospective about Fast and Furious. We'll talk about Tokyo Drift and how the
Because
end of that-
everybody was so
fits in.
excited with it.
yeah, how it fits in
Yeah.
with the mythology. Because part
Yeah.
5 comes first, and then what? It's 6, and then Tokyo Drift.
Yeah.
The storyline works in there, and then you got 7 and 8 and 9. John Cena's playing the fucking Vin Diesel's brother in these.
Brother,
man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can you guys believe we're listening to this horse shit of these two talking about these
Listen.
shitty movies?
You've never seen a motherfucker in the car grab a missile
Yeah.
and toss it somewhere else.
It's getting crazy now, man. You're
on
missing.
a sheet of ice.
They're like fighting on icebergs now. It's fucking awesome. Brian
I'm
Brumchen
sorry.
says,
I'm sorry. Deucin has given me wonderful recommendations to spend my quality time. And you know what? I'm going to continue to do that. I'm not going to watch fucking Paul Walker as a ghost or anything else
They're
silly,
not
They haven't
silly.
done-
Oh my
silly
God.
coming down the pipeline.
Hey, they
And
haven't
look,
done
someone
that.
says,
but
Smoke
maybe-
them.
They haven't done that, but maybe they're saving that for part 10.
I'm
Brian
hoping this
Brumchen,
next one they do.
Brian
the last
Brumchen
one.
says, the Fans of Power podcast is great because it's unapologetic and truthful. It's why I support the channel as much as I do, and we appreciate you, Brian.
Thank you kindly.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
We
Brian.
will leave this one more final question. This comes from Oliver. Which armor gave He-Man and Skeletor significant upgrade in combat? Battle armor or snake armor?
Well, battle armor was meant to take more hits, so it's more defensive, and snake armor just is. Well, it
Sell
just-
more toys.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I mean,
So-
you could say the same for battle
But
armor.
if you're referring to like 2000X battle armor, then I'll say snake armor because 2000X battle armor sucks shit. You know, it's just bad. It's just fucking mecha suits. It's lame as shit. I mean,
Here's
dude.
You didn't like the Master Universe Gundam edition?
Oh God.
Oh god. Here's a comment from my buddy's customs. I respect that you don't like certain versions of Master Universe, but the versions you do like, you put such passion into it, and that is what makes me come back. This is from the person who told Tyler to fuck off. Hee
And I told him to fuck himself too.
Yeah, and then you guys apologized.
And yeah, we shook hands and
Yeah,
we
you shook
went and
hands.
had a beer together if I drank.
Yeah, like
You know?
men. And Febmont says
Yeah.
tier list Fast and Furious movies. Hell yeah, me and Randall.
No,
do that.
no,
Brad
no.
and I will do that. Yeah.
Fine. You guys
I
I
can
do
go
it.
only see the
Facebook
first one.
Live.
I'm not watching anything else.
Yeah.
Well, you
Watch the second one at least.
no, the second one's the worst fucking one, Rand.
What?
Come on.
You gotta watch the second
I'm
one.
gonna watch that cock movie.
Matter of fact,
I'm gonna watch the cock.
But there's the line we need
Yeah.
to say. We're just
Yeah. I want to watch the cock movie. John, you hear that? She wants to watch some cock movies with us when she gets done with the show.
he's in the
John's
back
like, you
queuing
make
it up.
me happy.
He's
Better-
going in
better
the
go-
boxes to get some old VHS.
Better go,
Yeah.
better go pop that Blue Chew, which is another thing. I want to get sponsored by Blue Chew so fucking bad on
That
the
would be
show,
awesome.
So I can read the ad on here. It'd be so fucking good. Maybe I'll reach
Yeah.
out to him and be like, "Here's our show. We're not very big, but with the
We're
help
about
of
to
Blue
get
Chew,
big.
We're
we
about to
can
be.
get bigger."
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's how I'll word it, and they'll be like, "All right, hell yeah, sold."
I don't know. Do
Dude.
they have to reach
Yeah.
out to us? Like, does Blue Chew have to say, "Hey, we like your style. We want you to talk about,
I don't know.
What?
I'm
when
just
it
curious
comes
how that works.
Yeah.
Ren, Deuce, and you guys have any clue how we can get
Yeah, let's ask the
Man.
bigger dicks on this.
Yeah.
I've got
Oh,
one
that's good.
subscriber on my. Did you guys know I had a YouTube channel?
No.
No.
I've got one subscriber.
What
Was
did
that
you
you-
put on your channel?
Huh?
What's on your channel?
Well, there's two. I have a motorcycle one, and I have an art one that I posted sped up.
Oh, that's cool. I
Videos of
love
you
split
drawing.
up our videos.
Yeah, I like that.
Send me the links. I'll put it in the description. We'll get you
Yeah.
some more
You
subscribers.
need to upload more of those illustrations that was in that art book that you shared a while back.
Oh,
that had,
hey,
like, Pet
show off,
Sex, Dr.
show off
Scarab.
your Boglin stuff. Did he do that at the beginning? I
He
thought
did
that
at the
was-
beginning.
Was that at the beginning while we were live or before?
No,
we
that
were
was before we
Oh,
were live.
that's
live?
right.
Yeah, show those off real quick. Yeah.
There's one.
Yeah, that's so good.
Cute
Yeah,
guys.
beautiful.
There's
That's
one.
awesome.
That is awesome.
There's one.
Oh man, it'd
And-
be so funny if
And
you
this is
pulled
the
out.
beginning of the last one.
All right, yeah.
Awesome.
So
It would have been cool if while you were showing those off, there was one that just said like "fuck you, Tyler." Just
Yeah.
written there. That would've been good.
Another one I'm working
I
on.
don't know. Yeah, it's something to think about for next time.
Oh, I'm sure that'll become his trademark in future illustrations.
yeah.
And like, on the T-shirt design he's working for me, like down there at the bottom, like how Earl Norm signs like Norm, it'd be like, "Fuck you, Tyler."
And Brian
It'll be
Brummagem
in the artwork.
says Fast and Furious would have been better if they stayed at its roots about street racing. Nah, I like the angle that they went. If they
Yeah,
stayed
with the minute
street
John
racing, I
Wall
wouldn't
wasn't
like it
any
as
more
much.
any movies I checked out.
I
I gotta
agree, Brian. It would have been
Nah.
better if they had stuck with street racing, but a Fiero in space, come on, man.
Mhm.
You can't beat that.
They're going to space in the 10th one, probably.
I'm
they-
just
they
curious,
already went to space.
what does Deucen say about Fast and Furious movies?
Oh yeah, he hadn't said anything for a minute.
I've only seen some clips and it all looks the same.
Yeah, it gets kind of samey, but I don't know.
Family.
Yeah.
Oh God, man,
Family.
fuck Vin Diesel.
I
That's all-
thought they went to space. I asked that.
No,
earlier.
not yet. They're
No,
probably
they're going
going
to. That's
Probably.
the plan.
They
Somebody,
went to space already.
that's what I was. Somebody told
Yeah.
me that.
Oh well, all right. Yeah, you're right.
They
Maybe
said they walked into the theater. They saw them in space and they walked out. and walked
yeah,
home.
maybe that was in the 9th one. Then.
That was the tie-in with the guys from Tokyo Drift and the new guys, and they put rockets on a Fiero. I think it was a
Yeah,
Fiero,
that's
and sent it to
right.
space.
Yep. See, I didn't like the 9th one as much, so I don't remember it as well.
Yeah.
Melvor says Boglin's rule, and I agree. I'm glad that those are
They do.
that They
do.
come back a little bit.
I hope
Are-
you guys really enjoy it. I'll be putting it in the Fans of Power Facebook page once I'm done with them.
Hell yeah! And then going on shirts, but
Yeah, they will be on shirts, and I'll have the link on there once I post it.
Phenomenal.
all right.
Yeah.
Actually, what I'll do, Ren, since you're just kind of here now.
Shit.
The Joe moment.
All right, hang on.
Yeah, there's your Joe moment. There's your Joe picks for the week.
To Joe.
Yeah.
What's
Yo, Joe.
What I was gonna say, Ren, is send me the links to those YouTube pages, and then actually I'll find the link to what your shirt was on, and then just get the main link to like your shirt store on there, and have those in the description. That way people can go buy your stuff.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
All right, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. I'm surprised Tyler's still awake.
Oh, I'm
He's
trying
gonna
to be
crash.
cool about it. But
He's
the minute
gonna
we're done with this episode, like I'm out. Like I won't hang around to chit chat because I really do gotta. It's gonna be a shitty day at work tomorrow. It's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Well, yeah, Mondays are always bad anyway.
Yeah,
But hey,
I'm gonna like throw up.
well, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Doosan, thank you for coming in and joining us. The perfect timing, man. Kevin Smith, thanks for being here and crying and shedding all the tears that we haven't been able to shed this entire time we've been doing the show. There we go. Perfect.
Yeah.
Sponsored by
God.
Visine. But we hope you guys enjoyed the
Sponsored
show.
by Kevin Smith's tears.
What? Sponsored by Kevin Smith's tears. All right. Yeah.
Yes.
It processed in me for a second. All right. We hope you guys enjoyed this. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. And always ring the bell so you get notified when we go live. And until next time, have a powerful day.
Coop, what's a vagina?
Oh, man. I know this one.
Yeah.
I'm saving this for everybody else.
Nope.
He's thinking.
Rand's out. I'm sure Rebecca doesn't know it. Now we're
I
up
don't
to
think-
Kevin Smith here.
Say it again.
Coop, what's a vagina?
A vagina.
Say it again,
I just
Rebecca.
like the way a vagina. I just like the
Oh,
way
yeah.
you said it. I don't know what it's from.
I want to hear Ren say it like that.
A vagina?
Vagina?
All right, now Deuce, let's hear you say it.
Got a license for that vagina.
All right.
Oh.
Since no one's got it, I'll go ahead and give the correct answer. And JSP in the chat has it correct. It's It Takes Two, starring Steve Guttenberg and the Olsen twins. No, it's not. It's basketball. Lacey Dean was close. He said Orgasmo.
Yeah,
He was
that's
on the
close.
right-
I'll give him credit for that.
On the right track, but no, it's
Yeah.
basketball, a movie that Tyler and
I
I
guess-
quoted
yeah,
ad
that's the
nauseum.
Yeah,
Basketball?
basketball. But it's the guys who did South Park are directed
Oh.
by the guys who did the Naked Gun films.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
hilarious, heavily underrated. But yeah, he says, "Coop, what's a vagina?" Saying vagina in an Australian accent.
Oh, okay.
And what is it at the beginning too? It's like the great state of Minnesota. It's Washington. Whatever. Shit.
Yeah, shit. I'm here to play in the fine city of Miami. Minnesota.
Yeah, there it is.
Whatever. Shit.
Shit.
Yeah.
It's one of Brittany's mom's pubic hairs.
Oh,
There's another one.
Yeah, we can just quote it. No
Yeah,
one
we
else
just
knows
keep
what we're
going on
talking
and
about.
on forever.
Yeah, so we'll shut up.
Yeah, we'll shut up. We will wave. We'll do this.
We'll see you next week for another fine edition of Fans of Power.
No. It'll
Oh,
be
that's
in there
right.
for
Earl
something
Norm Part
different.
2 next week. Earl Norm Part 2 next week.
Part 2.
Hopefully
Electric.
Joe will be back.
Yes, and hopefully Joe will be here.
Lots of
Hopefully
Conan next week. Conan
What?
artwork.
Yeah.
Yeah, Conan
Yeah.
artwork. There we
Yeah.
go. Yeah, get
Oh no,
those.
we're gonna make him cry again.
What?
Conan.
Well, you know what's really going to make him cry? That's how we're going to end it on this. Just as we do, this is a new thing. Now.
Yeah, but it was great. It was fun, and I'll see you all on my balls.
Take care, everybody.
Later.